Hey, 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 what's going on, everybody? Bum, 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 bum. How's everybody doing? Hope the music's a good level. Let me know if the music's too loud, too low. I did a lot of testing before going live because the last stream I did failed. It was terrible, and I had to end it early. Let's see. All right, cool. Everything's looking pretty good. All right, what's up, buddy? The first comment that I see in the chat, I have like, did Intel ever resolve the NVMe issue? Z890 platform somehow, yeah, with the, let's see, behind the Z7, yeah, with the M.2s. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't actually tested it or looked into it, so I don't have a solid answer for that. So I do apologize. Maybe somebody else in the chat has it. I am finally doing it. Yes, we are live streaming with the Intel 270K Plus, and so far so good, man. I tested it for a good hour earlier privately, and it ran really well. I think the quality looks good. I see it on my phone right now too. I went back and watched the replay of stuff. Let me know what you think about it. You know, does everything look good, sound good, etc.? This is fully being ran. Like, this entire stream right now is being ran completely on the 270K Plus. I'm not leveraging the GPU at all. I'm not using any of the encoders from the GPU. So we're using QuickSync, AV1. So it's literally, this is all the CPU. Everything you're seeing right now is like all the CPU. Yeah, so I was initially going to do 285K. So I actually have a 285K. It's over there in the closet. Asus sent it to me a long time ago when they wanted me to check out the Z890 boards. And so I reviewed the Z890 board. It's the same board I'm using right now, actually. And then I just went back to AMD, and honestly, that 285K just kind of sat there and didn't do anything. And then when I got ready to do this challenge, I was actually going to when I was getting ready to do the challenge, I was going to do the 285K because I already had it, but I ran a poll and everybody pretty much voted for 270K. And even the people that didn't, even if people didn't vote for the 270K Plus, I still had like just a bunch of comments. Hey man, you know, if you want views, you got to do 270K. Nobody can afford a 285K, etc. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So, but I hope like going out and actually, you know, spending my money and getting the 270K Plus, people see that like I'm dedicated to the channel and content, even if I don't, you know, upload as much as I should. Hello, I am visiting with friends. Nice. How many friends you got with you? And I say hello to everybody. So that's super cool. Got a rockin' Apex 9000 CL42 RAM. Hey, you send it to me, I'll happily rock it, man. Dude, Apex boards are awesome but expensive, and I don't even want to know how much money right now 9000 RAM would cost, dude. That's insane, dude. That's crazy. Is that what you're running? Are you, so I'm sorry, I can't remember what the hardware is for everybody. So like, is that what you're running? Do you have an Apex motherboard with 9000 RAM, or is that just something you see other people running? I'm very curious about that. Yeah, so unfortunately I don't have a lot of streaming assets for the for this, because I'm on a whole new build. So like all of my streaming stuff was on the AMD build, and I didn't really pull everything over. And sometimes I like to rebuild stuff anyway and have a fresh look. So like the intro music was completely different and new. I have the new rotating bar at the bottom just saying, hey, this is what we're doing. But that's about as much as I got. I do have a news/gameplay section where, like, you know, it's just me in the corner, where if we want to pull up some videocards.com and look at some tech news, we can do that as well. But really, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with everybody. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing well overall. Let's see, I put out a couple of videos this week. So the first video that I put out that is not doing well at all, and I know why, is the whole, like, you know, Sony kills physical media thing. And really, like, I knew the video wouldn't do well because I hadn't uploaded in like 3 weeks, which is a habit I need to break. But so obviously I was already coming in with like light activity, but then also it didn't have anything to do with like PC hardware, PC testing and stuff. But it does apply to PC gamers, and I really just wanted more people to know, hey, in case you don't know, GOG is a thing. It does exist. You can go there, you can buy all your games and actually own them. Because I mean, one thing I've come to learn about being a tech creator, man, is if you assume people know stuff, very often they don't. And that became abundantly clear to me back whenever Hogwarts Legacy came out. And I did like the mod videos for it. People were joining the Discord and, saying, hey, how do I do this? And I said, well, just, find your game folder and just drop it in your game folder. And they would say, well, where's my game installed? And I'm like, wait a minute, you're a PC gamer, you paid for the game, you installed the game, and you have no idea how to find it. So that was very eye-opening. So anyway, for me, I just realized it's never a good thing to assume, whenever that people, everybody knows about GOG. So anyway, I made that video. I thought maybe, just maybe, the news wave would help me out, but no, that video bombed. And then obviously I dropped a video yesterday talking about the Intel challenge and officially announcing it. So I've actually had the system built now for a little over a week. Maybe even closer to 2. Well, no, I mean, I had it built the same day I bought it. That's wrong. The thing is, you have to tune it. And the thing is, like, it took me time to realize, okay, do I want to tune it? Do I want to do plug and play? And then I realized you better tune it or people are going to complain. And then I started talking to Danny Z Reviews and Taekwondo and Silicon Steak. And I was trying to figure out, okay, what needs to be changed? What are the expected ranges? What's the best way? Because Intel's not AMD and AMD's not Intel, right? And then I just went down the rabbit hole of tuning, and that is definitely a rabbit hole, man. It will take a long it takes a long time sometimes to properly tune stuff. So anyway, yeah, so that's why it took me so long to get another video out, because I wanted to make sure the system was stable. And that's the other thing too, you can run synthetic benchmarks all day long and it'll say, oh, it's stable, and then you open up a game and it crashes, which is pretty much what happened to me. And then it's like, okay, well, the synthetics say it's good, but when I launch Call of Duty or I launch Destiny, I'm getting crashes, right? So what do I do? So that was another reason why it took me a while to, get another video out. But anyway, we're here now. And then I recorded another video too, talking about my thoughts on the Steam Machine. My editor was supposed to have it done today. Spoiler alert, no call, no show. And I'm like, dude, where the hell are you? Like, like, I'm paying you to do this. I need my video, right? So, anyway, hopefully he'll have it to me by tomorrow and I can get that released. And yeah, I mean, quick thoughts on, I guess on the Steam Machine is just like, I love the idea of it. I love the concept of it. I really do. I really, really do. And I was looking forward to buying one myself. But honestly, that's a hard price to justify, dude. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, especially for the performance you're getting, because the performance isn't great. It was advertised as a 4K 60 box. It fails to meet that, so they changed the marketing to 4K. And then everything I see online are just people praising how good it is at 1080p. And I'm scratching my head. I'm like, wait a minute, guys. Like, the marketing says 4K and you're talking 1080p. But I mean, to each his own. People are going to do what they're going to do. But at the end of the day, I love the concept of the Steam Machine. I really, really, really do. And if it comes down in price, I may eventually pick up one, just to have as like collector's purposes and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, if somebody's asking me what should I buy, Steam Machine's not going to be it. All right, let's see. Glad to see you back on here. I'm glad to be back. When are people going to tell the truth about Intel 14th gen that actually is still stronger than AMD's garbage? Well, I'm not trying to get too caught up in like fanboy wars and stuff, but basically, I started with technically my very first system was Intel, but I wasn't the biggest PC gamer back then. I was mostly just using it for like programming and stuff, because I actually do work in software engineering. And then whenever I decided, okay, yeah, I think I want to switch over to the PC platform, it was just a good excuse to have fun and spend money and build a new system, right? But I went with AMD. That's right when the 3000 series came out. What is that, Zen 3, I think? And 3800X, 3900X, all that stuff. So I built the system there because it was budget friendly and budget-ish friendly. And then so I built that system and been on PC ever since. And then it's easy to just keep staying on AMD at that point, because, well, if I want an upgrade, I can just go straight to 5800X3D. I don't have to buy more RAM. I don't have to buy a new motherboard. And then I guess about 2 years ago, almost now, I switched over to Intel, but I definitely fell victim to the whole latency issues or CPU degradation issues. I know that was eventually fixed with a microcode update, but by the time that update came out, I had already switched back to AMD. So But with the 270K plus, I thought, hey, the 9070 XT challenge went so well. Let's try to do another challenge here on the channel. And I was going down the list of ideas. I'm like, well, I can switch to Linux, and inevitably, I'm going to have to do that as a challenge at some point. It might be the next one. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And then I'm like, it's not a challenge to use NVIDIA. I'm already using it. I just did an AMD GPU. So what's the next challenge? And I was like, well, I have an AMD CPU. Everybody knows that. I could switch to an Intel CPU. And then I went down that rabbit hole, and 270K plus, you know, I got really, really good reviews. And then I ran the poll, and yeah, the rest is history. So, but so far I can tell you my experience with the 270K plus is very, very positive. Once I tuned it and I was actually able to verify, yeah, I'm like rock solid, stable, zero issues. Like once I was actually able to validate that, and I just started using it daily, I've had zero problems with it. My games are running fine. The stream so far seems to be running great, and I'm super grateful for that. And what else? What's next? And then editing. Oh my goodness. So I've already edited like two and a half videos with this thing. DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use. DaVinci Resolve is hella smooth with a 270K plus, much more so than I realized. I noticed a big difference in DaVinci Resolve, obviously, whenever I got the professional version and got off the free version, because they lock features behind a paywall. But then it was still a little laggy. And then I upgraded from an 8-core CPU to the 9950X3D, which, you know, has 16 cores. And that was a lot smoother, but the 270K plus is even smoother than that. And because I mean, you're talking 24 cores and all that. So like for editing, it's really, really good. And Windows also feels so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you how I see it. So far, Windows does feel snappier with the 270K plus, but one, I'm trying to make sure that's an objective truth and it's not just some type of placebo effect, like, oh, and do shiny, it's better, right? You know, I want to make sure it's actually accurate. But also, in order to switch to the 270K plus, I had to do a fresh Windows install. And I think everybody here knows by now that Windows, it can be garbage at times. And over time, it gets bloated and bogged down. I use the Chris Titus Tech tool to always debloat my Windows and turn crap off. But just over time, when you get updates, inevitably, it just starts to bog down. And so it's not necessarily a completely fair comparison to say that, oh, my Windows feels snappier on Intel than it does AMD, whenever my copy of Windows is a lot cleaner and newer than the AMD one. But towards the end of the 30-day period, it might be a different statement, and I might be saying the same thing. I don't know. But so far, it's been a great experience. Let's see what else we got here. Fallen Legion, good to see you, man. Thanks for your comments and stuff on the videos. I appreciate it. You were one of the first people to comment on the recent videos, and I say thank you, man. Thank you so much. I still feel Intel does better with onboard audio, but the second you use a USB device for your audio, that's out the window. Yeah, see, I'm not a big onboard audio guy. I wouldn't consider myself an audiophile by any means at all. I plug in, you know, headset with a USB, and that's it. But I mean, I respect people who do love that. I got a really good friend who's a Patreon member also, and he buys like the $1,000 headphones, right? So he's all into that stuff. So for people like him, yeah, definitely. But for me, I'm like, yeah. Past that, I feel that tune on AMD to max per core takes just as long. Past that, I feel that, oh, the tune AMD takes just as long. So AMD can take a while to tune. It can. But I've been doing it for so long now. It's just like, I know all the right buttons to push. Now that's not to say that, like, you know, I'm the best or an expert or anything like that, but yeah, I've ran so many Ryzen systems at this point, man, that it's like playing in my backyard. You know what I mean? Intel, on the other hand, I was like, wait a minute, what? Die-to-die, NGU, you know, like I had a ring, you know, P and E, like I had to learn all that. I don't even plug in my onboard audio anymore. Yeah, I don't either, really. Hey, when are people going to tell the, oh yeah, I just read that, right? I disable both onboard audio and Wi-Fi immediately. I keep my Wi-Fi enabled as a backup. Like I am hardwired in. I'm currently running everything through an Ethernet. But there have been those times where I need to like quickly troubleshoot something and I'm moving hardware around and stuff. So I unplug the Ethernet. And then instead of having to, you know, get a longer cable or pull the system back or something, Yeah, I just quickly connect the Wi-Fi and have it up and running. So I use it for troubleshooting purposes. Trust me, I've been using AMD since the 90s during the K62 era, and they ran their mouth about how it was stronger than Pentium 3, which is BS. All right. Well, I mean, it's going to be, marketing, right? I mean, everybody always wants people to think that their stuff's better than the competition. I get that tuning of 14900K with fast RAM can be good, but even if it does beat dip, it's not by a lot. So yeah, and I mean, like, well, I mean, all the numbers and benchmarks are out there, right? I mean, especially with X3D processors, when you look at the gaming benchmarks, there's no denying. I mean, AMD still has the advantage, and something that I would say is equally important is even if they don't have the advantage in your perception, the vast majority of the market perceives that they do have the advantage. If you look at my most recent video and I showed the Amazon's bestseller list, it's all AMD CPUs. The only Intel CPU to even make that list was a 270K plus, which is a great CPU for sure. But yeah, it's just, it's about keeping it in perspective, I guess. Let's see. Let's see. Chat is cooking tonight, guys. Good. I appreciate it. As a veteran of tuning these machines, I can tell you that Intel still has more raw horsepower under the IHS than AMD, despite all the tuning. Yeah, I hear that. I've heard that quite a bit as well. Yeah, like I'm still, learning a lot about Intel. I do know Intel's taken a lot of records over the years, like just as an objective truth. There's a lot of records that Intel has from the overclocking standpoint. I'm on an i9 12900K for my main PC. Nice. I'll wait for a while before I get a better Intel chip. Still got to upgrade in graphics a few times. Hopefully they'll have a 48C or something super fast in a few years. Yeah. 48 core. Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. 12900K is still a really good chip. The room was getting too full. I went home. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I still appreciate you being here, man. Let's see. Intel is only faster if you run it with 8000 MT RAM above gaming if you pair 98. So that's something I was going to bring up in my final video, but we could definitely talk about it right now. And I mean, I'm going to do update videos along the way, right? So already I can tell you a couple advantages and disadvantages I'm seeing from the platforms, right? So it's not necessarily a platform advantage. It's just like right now, I got a comment yesterday on my video that talked about how this guy, or it might have been this morning, but this guy wanted to go Intel, right? But the boards were too expensive compared to AMD. And I'm like, interesting, because when I check Amazon, you got to buy used or, Amazon warehouse, but Amazon is usually pretty good. I've bought many used things from them and it's been pretty good. That's my experience. Your mileage may vary, but Amazon had like a hero motherboard, like the crosshair motherboard for Intel 270K. It was like used for $250. I'm like, dude, you can get an awesome freaking motherboard. And like for that price, all because, yeah, it's used, but also it's just because they're not selling that well, because most people are buying AMD. So that was my experience. But yeah, I mean, a couple things I've noticed is like one advantage, obviously, with AMD right now is there's tons of content on it, tons of subreddits about it because everybody's buying it. So if you're having trouble or have questions, there's plenty of people to talk to. Also, yeah, the 6000 DDR5 6000 is a sweet spot for AMD, and that's a big advantage because right now we're in the AI bubble. So that makes everything a little bit more complicated. RAM is just super hard to come by and very expensive in general. Sure, absolutely, but on average, DDR5 6000 is easier to find and it's more affordable than something like DDR5 8000. And that's been the thing that I've understood as well, is that if you're running Intel, you need to run high speed RAM. Because that's one thing I've seen Hardware Unboxed get criticized for the most, is that they'll always run like DDR5 6000 or DDR5 6400. And everybody's like, dude, like you got to run higher than that. But I'm sure there's people that would disagree. Don't care which platform you're on, AMD or Intel, but Windows 10 and Windows 11 have had installs. I just don't perform on the same hardware. Okay. I do miss Windows 10. I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is. 6,000 is cheaper than 8,000 when you do find it for cheap. Yep, that's very true. My AM4 B550 boards have been only $90 each. Dude, that's a good. Well, yeah, that's AM4, but yeah, that's a good deal. I'm super excited about the new 5K and 6K 165 hertz monitor. Anyone else? Those are cool. Same. I love E-Rock. I appreciate it. Thank you. That Z890 Hero board is awful. Is it? Is it awful? I mean, I haven't actually used that. I have the AMD Hero. That's what I ran for a long time, and then I put it into my brother's tribute build, and I mean, it was good. It was a good board. I will say, you know, when you look at the price and you compare it to the X870 E-E gaming Wi-Fi ROG Strix, I would go with the Strix because it was $200 cheaper and you basically got all the same stuff. There's a few differences that the Hero had, but it didn't justify the extra cost. So absolutely, I would say that. But it's a good board. It's just it might not be the best value proposition, but it's a good board. Rock, did you see that Zen 6 is being released July 22nd, 2026? I saw something about that, but I thought it was only for servers. Not desktop. But maybe I'm wrong. I have not seen that. Yeah, I've been watching E-Rock for a long time. Let's see. I missed it. Max V Gaming in the chat. It's just the famous E-Rock. Max V Gaming is he's a good friend of mine. He's my best friend. He actually has a bunch of channels now. So if you guys want more dedicated gaming content, you can go check him out. Definitely recommend that. Absolutely great creator. He's currently checking out this game called Hunger. So if you're into extraction shooters, that might be your jam. Dude, I just hit a bunch of buttons by accident. If I screwed some people up in the chat, I apologize. Let's see. I'm trying to find my place. Currently my main 48. Oh, there we go. Currently for my main, I have a 4080 and a 2080 as a dedicated PhysX card. Nice. And powering my 5K monitor. Next will probably be 5090 when it drops in price. So I'm going to be honest with you, Brent. Okay, so I don't have any experience with 5K monitors or anything like that. Like the most I have is 4K OLED, and I'm more than happy with that. I love OLED. It's great. So I have a 5090, as all of you know. And here's the truth, right? If I didn't have a 5090, I would be thinking to myself, man, I need to get a 5090. I want a 5090. And I would concoct all these reasons in my head. Like, I got to do a review of it. I got to use it for the channel. And all that's true to an extent, right? But dude, I can tell you wholeheartedly from using the 5090, it's not something that, like when I still have my 4090 too, but when I was using my 4090, like every day that I used it, I could just tell like it was massively better than anything I had before. It was just so much more powerful. But going from a 4090 to a 5090, not a big deal. It just like, but I tell you what I do notice. I noticed that 600 watt power draw, man, that thing is power hungry. But you're coming from a 4080, so for you would definitely see a difference because you're able to get, you know, the 5080 increase, the 4090 increase, and then the 5090. So it would be more of a noticeable jump for you than it was for me. Do you do core by core and test or PBO -20 all core? I've done both. So here's the thing with, so here's the thing with AMD. Now, what do I do on average right now? So what I do right now is if I have like an X3D processor, I go on there and I do a negative, not a positive. I do a negative offset all core, and I'll just do like, I'll start at -20, run some tests. If it's stable, increase it to 25, 30. And that's typically what I do, but typically -15, -20 is a pretty safe bet if you just want to set it and forget it, but always run stability tests, right? Now, if you really want to properly tune AMD, you do need to do a per core offset. And I've done that, but it takes a long time because like if you're like, you know how you can like overclock a CPU and you might say, you know, set my cores to this or whatever. And then you go and test and you come back and you test and you come back. You have to do that for each individual core on AMD if you want to do a per core offset. And to take it one step further, AMD now has something called Curve Shaper, which is basically this. It operates along the same lines where you go through and you apply the curve shaping, if I can call it that, to the offset to each one of the. Basically, the Curve Shaper is it helps you. I'm trying to find the best way to explain it. It helps you like offset your offset on the cores. Scatterbencher has a really good explanation of it. I would recommend his video on that. I briefly talked about it in one of my videos as well, but it's been so long, and I was like, man, this is getting way too tedious for me. But basically, Curve Shaper is designed to help you take your curve optimizer further and keep it stable and maximize the gains to the fullest extent. So yes, if you wanted to fully tune an AMD CPU, I mean, balls to the wall, maxed out, yeah, you could spend a good 2 or 3 days tuning it if you really wanted to. But man, that's a lot of work. And that's the beauty with X3D processors is if you just take it out the box, plug it in, do DDR5 6000, you're getting the majority of what it has to offer. That doesn't mean you can't push it a little further, but you are getting the majority of what it has to offer, and that's the beauty of it. What speed RAM are you running? I am currently running DDR5 8400, and it's 2 sticks for a total of 48 gigabytes. My buddy John allowed me to borrow his kit, so thank you, John. I appreciate that. I do use 2.5 gigabit LAN. That's what I'm currently using as well. I can confirm this. I have a 9850 X3D in one PC and a 270K Plus in the other, and I also feel like the Intel system is more responsive. Mind you, I've never actually measured that in any way. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Because I swear on my life, dude, my system feels so much snappier. I don't understand it. My buddy, same guy, John, he has a theory, right? And his theory is, you know, supposedly when Windows 11 was coming out, becoming a thing, or when E-cores were becoming a thing, I forget which one it was, but basically when Microsoft was making the scheduler in Windows, Intel worked very closely with Microsoft on that scheduler. And so they were using that for the P cores and E cores, right? And because there was so much intertwining there, that the theory is that Intel works better on Windows than AMD, but I don't know how true that is. And of course, everybody says, you know, AMD is better for Linux, but then that's usually applied to the GPU side of things, but maybe the CPU side of things too. I don't know. I don't have a lot of Linux experience. 2x24 gigabyte DDR5 8000 Trident Z Royal. Nice. Someone says and gives more numbers, but Ultra CPUs gives smoother image. I don't know about that. I don't know. That's okay. And then you guys are talking about that. I started the K62400. It was solid, but they didn't peak until athlons later. Okay. It wasn't until 5800 X3D that it got an advantage. Yeah, I do remember when the 5800 X3D came out. It took the world by storm, and it quickly became like the #1 go-to CPU. And I think that's why, you know, AMD recently brought it back. But I did do a tech news video about that, and I shared some initial thoughts on that and stuff. And it's like 5800 X3D is a great CPU, and a lot of people do need it as a plug-and-play solution right now, given the state of everything and how terrible everything is. And I just hate how bad everything is right now. I really do. But at the same time, they launched it for more than it exited for. So like, I forget the exact numbers, but basically AMD re-released the 5800 X3D at a price that's lower than its original US MSRP, but still more expensive than what it exited the market at. So at the end of its life cycle, before they went to AM5 and discontinued the 5800 X3D, whatever the lowest point was of that, AMD came in higher than that to relaunch it. And I'm like, that's kind of crappy. But then on the other hand, I saw a lot of people praising it because they're like, man, I've been looking for an upgrade, and this is like the easiest way to get an upgrade, you know, without having to buy like a whole new motherboard, RAM kit, and CPU. They can just go get the 5800 X3D, drop it in their AM4 platform, and get like the best that platform has to offer. Yeah, I have a 9800 X3D used to have 10900K, which was a little snappier in Windows, but slower in gaming. Yeah, so you might remember Tech Yes City. I had him on the channel at one point. Brian from Tech Yes City. He made a full video talking about how snappy the 10900K is. And unless he's changed anything, last I heard he was still using the 10900K. When I had him on my channel, he was still using the 10900K at that time. And then let's see. I definitely lost my spot. Goodness, boys. Let's see. I had nothing but issues with the Z890 Hero. Changed it to Z890 Unify X from MSI. Smooth sailing. Well, I'm glad you got everything up and running. Like I said, I don't have any experience with the Z890 Hero. Like I can't really speak to it. I just have the experience with my current Hero board on AMD, and it was phenomenal. I didn't have any issues with it, and I don't really see why. I don't really see why the Intel one would be any worse than the AMD one, but I don't know. And it was super buggy. Okay. Let's see. Okay, you guys are talking. Hunger was super fun. I did the play test on that. Nice. Yeah, Max V Gaming did it as well. Looking forward to it coming out. Nice, man. That's awesome. Well then, hey, if you like Hunger, dude, go check out Max V Gaming. Show him some love. Tell him I sent you over there. Yeah, he just did like a couple of live streams with Hunger. Did some videos on it, like a full breakdown video. It's like 30 minutes long, very detailed. Check it out. Give it a chance. I can vouch for AMD Pro SKUs in our distributors on the way, but I can't give away more my source. Sadly, I wasn't told Zen 6 though. Well, I appreciate the information there, man. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. I have 4K 60 Hz, 4K 144. Nice. 5K. Dang, man, you got a lot of monitors. 5090 is overrated. I agree. 5070 Ti is awesome. Definitely. Dude, what's up with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced and a 9070 XT outperforming 5070 Ti, even in ray tracing? That's crazy, according to Hardware Unboxed anyway. I sold my 5090 a few months ago and just picked up a 5080. Still super happy with it, even at 4K. I'm currently using the 5080 for the Intel Challenge. I got off the 5090, went down to the 5080 Astral. I just wanted to use the card. It's so beautiful. And 5090s are overrated. I would love to sell my 5090, but I'm not going to because it's a review sample from Asus. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep it. If I had paid for it, though, I probably would sell it. Absolutely. But before the challenge is over, I'm probably going to pop the 5090 in here so I can do some real, comparative analysis with my 9950X 3D in terms of gaming performance, especially. And of course, using that GPU, we're talking 4K. And yes, I know at 4K, you're mostly GPU bound, but still I've seen more comments online lately where people want to see more stuff about, CPU testing at 4K. So I'll try to offer that. I had a 4090 before. I miss it. I had the i9 9900K. Oh, that's great, dude. See that box right there? i9 9900K. I'm trying to put together the old build, the old go-to build 9900K 2080 Ti. I'm like slowly piecing that together. You see that white box on there? That's the motherboard that I got off eBay for it. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if the 9900K works, and I don't know if that board works either. Like, I bought it and I'm so busy and tied up with stuff. I'm like, I don't have time to test it. Like, if it works, awesome, it should work. If it doesn't, I'm out a few $100, whatever, I'll live. Sucks. And I know, like, I shouldn't say that, but anyway. Sold the combo and the 4090 to get the i9 12900K and 4080. I regret it because I play slightly older games. COD Modern Warfare. Gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I noticed 7800 XTs jump in price after FSR 4.1 came out. 7800 XTs now are about $799, so $800 now. And before I could get them, dang, that's a big jump, dude. That's a $300 price difference. Wow. I did see something recently, like a title of an article that was talking about, like another price jump in AMD GPUs. Curve Shaper was mind-numbing, but I dealt with it before. Gotcha. Let me ask you this though. Did you notice a difference though? Like when you utilize Curve Shaper, do you feel like you had any extra gains with it? Do you feel like the juice was worth the squeeze, so to speak? Was it worth the effort? i9 9900K used the 4090 fully, and I got like 35 more FPS, but I don't think it would be able to handle the 5090 or 60. I don't think I thought I recognized your picture. You're the guy when the 5090 came out initially. You're the guy that was asking me to test it with the 9900K, or do I think a 9900K would power? And I think you even donated money to the channel for me to answer that question, if I remember correctly, right? Thanks, bro. I appreciate you, man. I remember you. Yeah. Thank you, man. That stood out to me. Yeah, I didn't have a 9900K at the time, but I do have one now. So I suppose I could test it and let you know. But yeah, the challenge there, obviously, like you're not just talking about a CPU difference at that point. You're talking about RAM differences as well. DDR4 DDR versus DDR5. Yeah, Curve Shaper is great, but I won't do that again. Was not worth it. I got you. I believe it. I believe it. Like I said, dude, that's the beauty of like X3D, man, is like you get the majority of what it has to offer like out the gate. Yeah, I am with Fallen Legion. I got rid of my 5090 a little bit ago. Yeah, that's like a common thing, dude. I've seen so many people do that. Silicon Steak sold his as well. So I've seen that a lot. That last 1% is time for gains that might take 1 to 2 years to get back. Gotcha. Where's the AMD content nobody uses? John. Boo, you're hilarious, bro. Yeah. Overclocker is a massive AMD fan. He sold everything he had and flew out to meet Lisa Sue. He asked me to get him. He asked me if he could interview Frog Boy, and I said maybe. I went from a 7800 X3D to the 285K, and it was night and day in responsiveness. In Windows, is that what you're talking about? Like in Windows? I would also say my Intel system felt a little faster on Windows, but also I felt like my 9850 X3D was better than the 9800 X3D on Windows, so I don't know. Well, 9850 X3D is technically 3% faster in gaming than the 9800 X3D, but in Windows, I don't really see how that would translate. I'm happy to see all these comments though, so I'm not the only one. So it's not just me, like I'm not the only one who feels like Intel is snappier on Windows. All right, so I'm glad I'm seeing that feedback and it's not just me, because I was worried I'm having like some type of placebo effect, or maybe it has something to do with the fresh Windows install. But I've seen multiple people now make that same comment, so maybe it's a real thing. I know there's certain other YouTubers who are dogmatic about that, but you know, I mean, the bias is open and where it's at, so you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt, if you get what I'm saying. Let's see. I use Intel and AI, and somebody, the computer I am on has 14. Oh, okay. That was a little hard to read, but okay. Yeah, Intel. Gotcha. Yeah, I use Intel and AI. I'm somebody, the computer I had. Okay. Okay. You got a 14700K and you use Intel and AI. Got it. Clear. Okay. Recently bought myself a 9070 XT. Your AMD series really sealed the deal. Thank you. Oh man, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad I was able to, provide value there for you to see, what works for you and stuff. So the more important thing here is how are you with it? Like, how long have you been using it? Are you happy with it? That's the biggest thing. Are you happy with your purchase of the 9070 XT? AMD Hero board was solid when I had it. Okay, cool. The X870E one. Anyways, yeah, that's the one I have, is the X870E. Yeah. Did they have a non-E? I know they have the BTF one that recently came out, but isn't that also an E? I don't see why they would not make it an E. Most rigs are still using Intel because they last so long. And as a matter of fact, the CPUs last longer than the motherboards. The motherboards get rare and expensive. Gotcha. Yeah, dude, I will say there are some older Intel boards, like when that 9900K board that I bought, it's like some Asus board. I forget which one it is. I bought it off eBay, and it was not as cheap as I was hoping it would be, given how old it is. So, yeah, the AMD Hero boards are solid. I have no clue why my Z890 Hero was such a dud. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that. Boost 200S would not work. Anything over 6,000 megahertz clock on RAM. Dang, that sucks. That really sucks. That really sucks. So, but you were able to get over 6,000 with your MSI board, is that right? Man, that really does suck. Yeah, maybe you just had like a defective board or something, man. That's crazy, dude. I hate to hear that. Sorry, dude. So what did you do with that board? Did you keep it? Did you sell it? Did you try to, or you said you were in the return window, right? So you just returned it and exchanged it. You didn't have to do RMA or anything. These are unmeasurable, personable impression. Okay. However, I use both PCs and machines. Okay. Got it. The black flag that has things to it, ray tracing higher above. Yeah. Well, yeah, what I'm saying is like Hardware Unboxed put out like a big benchmarking video on Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. And pretty much tested like 1080p, 1440p, 4K, all across the board, native plus upscaling, and like low, medium, high settings, ultra. And even with ray tracing enabled on ultra, 9070 XT somehow outperformed the 5070 Ti. I was floored by that. I wonder if that's going to revert with driver updates, but maybe not. 9850X3D definitely feels snappier than the 9950X3D. Feels pretty much as snappy as my 250KF. My 7800X3D was so flipping slow in Windows. Yeah, 7800X3D was something that I was always kind of 50-50 on it. Like I had my days where I'm like, it's a good CPU, especially when it came to gaming. But like, yeah, in Windows and workloads and editing and stuff, there were definitely times where I was wishing for a little bit more. That's it. So when you say your 9850X3D definitely feels snappier than a 9950X3D, I kind of understand that because the 9850X3D is not a dual CCD, but the 9950X3D is a dual CCD. And so like if the CCDs have to go back and forth or exchange any information, there is a little bit of added latency there. And that's why I've made those videos talking about core parking, process lasso, and all that stuff, because it's so important to make sure, if you have a dual CCD CPU, to make sure that your processes that you're using are properly where you need them to be. You cannot really rely on the Windows scheduler that well. Even if you set up core parking properly, which I did, it only works about 95% of the time. There's going to be a 5 to 10% window where something just doesn't work right. I've seen it happen several times. So anyway, where was that? Only had my pause. Yes, hi, welcome, bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I like the idea of 4K testing, but with different DLSS settings. I don't know why anyone would play on 4K without at least using DLSS quality. So I will say I like DLSS quality. It looks really good now. But I mean, like if you can hit the frame rate that you want to hit without DLSS and just keep it native, then I can understand not turning on DLSS, but also DLSS is getting to a point to where sometimes it can look better than native is what people say. And I put it in air quotes because everything in the PC space now causes debates. Like every time I turn around, like no, you can't just make a flat statement anymore. Like if you say like DLSS quality looks better than native, then you get to people, well, actually, and it's just, anyway. So I don't know. I'm not trying to get into a bunch of debates, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that it's the same mantra I go back to all the time. The beauty of PC gaming is that you can play how you want to play. If you want to play with DLSS quality, go for it. If you don't, there are other options as well. So it's a beautiful thing, right? Let's see. Is it true with Intel CPUs, everything feels smoother compared to AM5? Well, that's kind of what we've been talking about in Windows. That's pretty much what we've been talking about. Preach 4K, DLSS quality, testing should be the standard, might be just us. I mean, well, I appreciate the feedback, guys. And I mean, with me still being so, such a smaller creator, like I can definitely interact with you guys and stuff. And like your comments don't get lost on me. So, I mean, when I start doing more benchmarks and stuff, because I test a lot at 4K, if you guys want to see more DLSS quality, I'll add it in there. Consider it done. Thank you for the feedback. Let's see. Curve shaper on general things, no curve shaper on games. That could utilize dual CCD, aka 9900X, 9950X, various. Yes. Overall, worth it? No. Got it. Okay. All right. Not worth it. Got it. Silicon Steak was one of the many reasons why I sold my 5090. Gotcha. Yeah, he made pretty good money on his, man. And then also Taekwondo sold his. Made pretty good money. Taekwondo actually made more money on his than Silicon Steak did. I've only had my pause on new stuff for the Intel. Have done what 3 to 4 270Ks, and the new Windows and the box was noticeably, but my rigs are mostly AMD. Gotcha. Okay, got it. Out the box notice. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes I'm like reading and the chat's like overlapping. I'm like, wait, what? Windows likes Intel more. Cough. Haha. Gotcha. I'm on CashOS, Linux, and my 14700K is very snappy. That's good to hear. That's very good to hear. There is a There's a giant about to be awakened this weekend. Took 11 months. What are you talking about this weekend? What are you talking about with me with Intel, or are you talking about with Linux, or is there something else I'm missing? I used to build HEDT, sold company recently, so I'm moonlighting while I got back to consulting. Okay, nice. I have not tried moonlighting. I've heard about it. I think I got like 2 people in my Discord doing it. By the way, guys, speaking of Discord, actually just put in today with YouTube to open channel memberships, and they said it's going to take 24 hours to review and approve. So the first one is just going to be like Discord access, and I made it the cheapest option I could make it, which was 99 cents. So if you want to be part of the Discord, it'd just be 99 cents. And then the link would be there, and you just join, and boom, you'll be part of the Discord. I've had the Discord going now for a few years, but it's mostly just been the Patreon members, and frankly, it hasn't really grown much, and that's over the last year or so, and that's mostly because I kind of stopped promoting it. I just put it in the video description, so if people like really want to be a part of it, they can go down there and click. But I haven't really been promoting the Patreon because I've been planning for the longest time to shut it down and go over the channel memberships. And that was something else that you learn in just software design, is that you want to minimize the block, like you want to minimize the roadblocks from, start to the finish line, right? And so like if you're asking people to, hey, I want to build a community, I want you to support me and all that stuff. Well, having you leave YouTube and go to a third-party website like Patreon, where you might not have an account, and now I'm asking you to create an account, and it's a barrier to entry. And plus, on top of that, YouTube allows me to just do some extra things with my community now that Patreon doesn't. So I like that aspect of it too. But anybody that's a Patreon member will basically convert over to YouTube, and it'll actually be cheaper on YouTube versus Patreon as well. So they'll be saving money. But the first tier would just be Discord access. And then after that, I'll have another tier where I'll be launching my NXE game launcher app. That looks like Xbox 360 NXE for people interested. And then, of course, there'll be the other perks of like, get your name in the credits, and I'll actually shout your name out. I learned that from Destin, by the way. So anyway, just things coming down the pipeline. I tried the 9070 XT before. I got the 5080, but I missed DLSS too much. FSR 4 is good, but DLSS looks much better in Battlefield 6. And the thing is too, it's like, even looks aside, the thing is like DLSS is just so popular, right? It's everywhere. It's always getting supported. If a developer, I believe anyway, if a developer's having to have time crunches or whatever, and they can only implement one or the other, they're probably going to favor DLSS because there's more people on NVIDIA. Of course, the rare exception is going to be like if there's a game sponsored by AMD, like Starfield, for example, launched with FSR, but it didn't launch with DLSS. But people were so pissed off about it that they modded DLSS in it, and then it became the #1 most downloaded mod on Nexus Mods until they officially released DLSS. It's the Maximus Hero, I think 10 or 11. Gotcha. Do you think the 6090 will use the same melty? Dude, I hope not. Oh my goodness, dude. That every week, there's a new story. There's a new story every week about a freaking connector on a GPU melting. And I was reading about it before I went live. I was looking over some of the news stuff in case we got over the news. Which, I mean, the chat's going great, so we can just keep talking and bringing stuff up. But like, ASRock apparently had a failsafe on one of their PSUs that's supposed to shut down the system in case the 5090 gets too hot or starts overheating, and it failed to do that. And so from what I saw in the title and thumbnail, it basically like melted the connector. Go figure. So dude, I hope and pray that 6090, I hope the 6000 series in general gets away from this stupid freaking connector, dude. We need to go back to tried and true 8-pin connectors. That's what we need to do, in my opinion. But anyway, it's more cables, but at the same time, it's like you don't hear about people's PCs burning up and GPUs burning up over 8 pins, right? I wish I had never bought my 9070 XT because I already had a 7900 XT, and they are close in performance. They are close in performance, and you actually had more VRAM on the 7900 XT. And for the longest time, though, the 9070 XT had access to FSR 4, and you didn't, but you recently got it due to the update. But the 970 XT is still a great card, but so is the 7900 XT. So I don't regret buying it, honestly. I am satisfied. I've got a Red Devil, looks sick, and runs very well. Even with ray tracing, it handles well and has very good temps. I don't think it's gotten higher than 72 degrees. Nice, nice, very nice. And are you at 1440p? Plus the 7900 XTS 20, yeah. Okay, I gotta run. It's 1 a.m. Yikes. Okay, well, thank you for hanging out. I understand completely. 1 a.m. Nice. I'm a night owl myself. I got a portable AC for my new build. What? Portable AC? That's crazy. I use DLSS, but with native, I do the same with FSR 4.1. Got it. Why do you got a portable AC for your build? Explain that to me. I want to know more about that. If it was not for the 16 gigabytes or the new AV1 encoder and somewhat lower prices, it would have made it easier to go for a new NVIDIA GPU, personally speaking. Yeah, I mean, that's what it always comes down to, right? I mean, NVIDIA is number one in the market. Most people prefer NVIDIA for a variety of reasons, but, you know, price is king. You know, at the end of the day, you know, price is king. All comes down to money. Yes, more DLSS quality testing. All right, cool. You got it. I'm Team Red. However, I would love to see more DLSS content. All right, cool. Got it. Noted. Noted. I will add that to the pipeline. You guys got it. That connector is not going anywhere. I hate to say this, but yeah, that sucks. It would be nice if they used FSR and DLSS and XESS. It would be nice if they used if who used it. I had a 5090 cable melt on me. So you guys remember my video? Mine was the opposite approach. So my adapter didn't, the cable itself didn't melt, but the power supply it was connected to, like the plug-in portal NAT side, melted. It's crazy, dude. The EVGA melted on the PSU side. I got it before. Yeah, mine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mine melted on the PSU side. I got it before it damaged anything. Yeah, mine damaged on the PSU side as well. Yeah, I made a full video about it. I do play at 1440p. Yes, gotcha. I think with tech like 9070 XT, ray tracing, path tracing, and frame gen is handled better on it. But for raw power, that 7900 XT, XTX, GRE, etc., better in my honest opinion. I think with tech like 9070 ray tracing. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, especially 7900 XTX, dude. That raw power, it's good, and that was 24 gigabytes of VRAM. And I think my headset's about to die. One second. All right, so more DLSS content, clear, got it. We'll start doing more of that. In other news, my Bamboo Lab 3D printer died on me, and so I now have to work with customer service on that to get it fixed, and that's just been annoying. Let's see. All right, cool. Hopefully that's good. Sorry, I should have charged it before I went live, but I didn't think about it. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. But yeah, so I mean, overall, what we're looking at here is we have overall what we're looking at here is, you know, we're looking at Intel 270K plus, and I'm hella impressed with it right now because I mean it's I'm super impressed with it right now because I mean I'm not using a GPU at all to do any of this. Like well, technically I'm using the iGPU on the CPU and I'm using QuickSync AV1 and you know, looking at it on my phone over here, it looks great. It sounds great. I'm looking at the stats in OBS and it's like drop frames, none, 0, zilch. I got green check marks. Everything's looking rock solid. I'm pretty freaking happy with how well the CPU is able to handle all this. And I've been thinking, I'm like, okay, what possibilities what possibilities does this open? Because in the grand scheme of things now, most people probably have a, you know, like a GPU that has some type of encoder on it, right? I mean, even if you have like an NVIDIA 3060, like an RTX 3060, you have, you know, NVENC on it. So you could just use NVENC to live stream. And for the longest time, that was the standard. So I mean, how much of a benefit is the AV1 on the CPU, right? With that being said, QuickSync, I've heard for years, is awesome and people love it for productivity applications. And that's technically what I'm using right now to live stream, but it's also what I've been using is QuickSync AV1. It's what I've been using to edit in DaVinci Resolve and render out in DaVinci Resolve. And I've been hella happy with it, man. It's been fantastic. So yeah, let's see. I don't mind people giving criticism to AMD. However, I do not like how many people don't at least give AMD a chance to admit they are improving. Too many fanboys. I definitely agree about the fanboy comment 1000%, because I definitely agree about the I definitely agree about the fanboy comment 1000%, because you know, when I first got into the whole PC situation, PC gaming and stuff, the one thing I was excited about, I thought, was, hey, I'm getting away from fanboys, console wars. I don't have to worry about, you know, Xbox guys versus PC or PlayStation. You know, it's just like on PC, everybody can be objective, right? Because we have numbers to calculate stuff. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. I was basically trading one set of fanboys for multiple other kinds. And now you got fanboys of everything, man. I mean, you have NVIDIA fanboys, you have AMD fanboys, you have Intel fanboys, and they're all fighting all the time. And then you have Windows fanboys, and then you have Linux fanboys. It's just, I definitely agree there's way too many fanboys. And it's just like, okay, number one, just, can we all just be happy that everybody's on PC together, and like that's a win for the PC platform, because the more people you have on PC, the more support PC games will get. Ideally, if developers see, hey, most people are playing on PC now, they're going to work harder on the PC port of things instead of being an afterthought. So that's number one. Number two, you know, it's like, look at the numbers, you know, and that's why price to performance or cost per frame is so important as well, because you can say, well, what do you care about the most? Do you care about the most powerful thing? Well, according to these numbers, that's the fastest. Or do you say, do I care about value proposition? Okay, well, the best, you know, bang for buck or dollar per frame is that, you know, the thing that's not the fastest, but it's like right in the middle, right? But even that's not enough anymore. You know, people, you just have people that are like, I had one bad experience with X platform, I'll never do it again. That would be like me saying, hey, I tried to give Intel a chance, and I had a bunch of latency issues and blah, 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 blah. So I went back to AMD, and I'm never going to try Intel again. Well, that would be closed-minded, right? You know, but here I am, I'm back trying Intel again because it's something new, and it actually got reviewed very well. 270K plus. Can you, or is there a way to check the wattage the iGPU uses on the 270K? I can try. I wish the be happy were true. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I have hardware info. Does anybody know if I have hardware info? Does anybody know if hardware info shows the wattage of the GPU? Let's see. Come on, Tiffany, pull, dude. Oh man, wow. Sorry, just responding to my wife real quick. My son's coming home from swimming lessons. All right, so I have hardware info pulled up. Does anybody know in hardware info if there's a way where to see the iGPU? Let me see. I'm scrolling. CPU, Intel Core 270K plus, DTS, core temperature, and then CPU. Let's see, Intel Core. So I see Intel Core. So I see the 270K plus, DTS, and then I see enhanced. I see C state, residency. Crazy. Trying to figure out where it is. DDR5, no. DDR5, no. I'm trying to get the answer for you. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, man. Okay, DGPU. So, okay, they do specify DGPU in here, and it has my 5080 listed. So does that mean they have iGPU? I got you. iGPU Intel graphics. Okay. My iGPU currently at the time of this recording is 33C. And iGPU power is currently pulling in 0.023 watts. There you go. 0.023 watts. So yeah. There we go. Oh, cool. I just got in. Hey, what's up? Welcome on in. Not sure if yeah, hardware info has it. It's like at the bottom. You have to scroll all the way down, but it definitely has it. They are never satisfied nowadays, sadly, and very biased without attempting to be objective. As the community of PC gaming, we need to all come together, especially in these expensive times. Very true. Yes, especially in the expensive times. I can find it at idle. It goes as low as 0.18 watts. Nice. That's awesome. I mean, dude, that's pretty good because like I'm actively using it to run the stream and that's all it's pulling. That's freaking insane. That's pretty good, man. Um, all is doing is quick sync. Yep. Nice. Yep. Very good. It's very good. Yeah, no, I mean, um, I was talking to Overclock 23. I was talking to him earlier today. Because we're friends in real life. And I was talking to him, and one thing I told him was I struggle. I go back and forth on like the whole balance of things because here, I'm gonna take that off for a second just because like it's getting hot but you guys can still hear the audio. But like I was talking to Overclock 23 earlier, and one thing that I told him was the thing that I struggle with a lot is the whole like, okay, I am a tech enthusiast. I like to have the best stuff. I'm a software engineer. So when I'm employed, I make pretty decent money. I say that because I'm losing my job at the end of the year, but I got 5 months to figure that out. But the point is, it's like, okay, even if I'm not doing tech YouTube, chances are I'm probably going to go buy the higher tech stuff. That's just probably what I'm going to do most likely. So for me, getting excited that a really low end product can hit like 40 FPS and something, it doesn't really make me excited personally, but I also understand and appreciate the people who do like those things, right? But I feel like lately there's been a rise in that where especially with like the Steam machine. I saw a guy post today on Twitter or X or whatever, and he's like another tech creator. I forget his name, but he's not that large or anything, but he was like, oh, I can't wait to see the comments on this, and he was saying it sarcastically because he was showing Assassin's Creed Black Flag resynced. It was running at 1440p with FSR on. I don't know the preset. And, he had like one setting on high and the rest were on medium. And again, 1440p with FSR. And it was ranging from 30 to 45 FPS depending on the area. And he was posting this like it was some big win. So he had the Steam machine, so at a minimum is 1050 USD. But he also had a Steam controller, so that's another, $100 give or take on top of that, and plus tax. So I mean, dude, you're pushing close to almost $1,200 for everything, or probably over $1,200 after tax, and you're bragging about 30 to 45 FPS with FSR on. I don't know, man, and that might make me sound snobby, dude, but I'm just like, for the same amount of money, you can build a desktop and have a much better experience. Let's see. But you gave even lower. Yep. Going to pick a pizza. See you soon. Awesome. Dude, I had pizza earlier tonight. So good. Pizza is so good. Yep. That's awesome. Cool. Well, chat is slowing down. Let me see. I think my family just got home. How long have we been streaming, boys? Oh, an hour and 9 minutes. Not too bad. An hour and 9 minutes. Let me see. Text wifey sauce real quick. And let's say I'm still streaming. Is that okay? All right. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Cool. All right. Cool. Let's see. W stream. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. So I'm going to try to pull up. Let's see. Are there any articles worth looking at that we can talk about? Oh, dude, I want to show you guys this one, right? Hang on. Did I do? Okay. I'm going to switch this over real quick. Stop the music for just a second. Well, we can keep the music on for a second. That's fine. Let me switch this over real quick. So go to news and gameplay. Come over here. Go right there. Did you guys see this? NVIDIA brings, what is that? Wuthering Waves and Arknight's RTX 5080 cards to, oh, that's not the cards I was thinking of. That's kind of cool that like there's a new Gigabyte GeForce RTX 5080 WindForce OC. That's kind of cool. If, I don't really know what that is. I thought this was something else. I saw something about trading cards the other day, and I thought this was the same thing, and it's not. Um, it's not the same thing. Oh man, my bad on that. But let's refresh over here. But yeah, this is the ASRock thing I was talking about. ASRock temp guard failed to shut down system after RTX 5090 power connector melted. So the power connector melted, and apparently temp guard is something that's meant to shut down the system to protect it, but it didn't do it, so it just kept going. This is crazy. We received some interesting information from one of the users affected by the melting RTX 5090 power cable. The owner, who identifies as Riptide, says the cable was fully seated at both ends and had no sharp bends. The PC operated normally for several weeks before it began showing software instability and crashes. User inspected the system and discovered visible damage to the power connector. An ASRock PG 1000 PSF power supply reportedly continued operating after the native 12-volt 2x6 connector began melting. The system used an MSI GeForce RTX 5090 Gaming Trio OC and ASRock's temp guard cable, which is designed to monitor connector temperatures and shut down the power supply when overheating is detected. Temp guard protection did not shut down the system. According to Riptide, the temp guard protection never triggered and the computer did not shut down automatically. Users stopped using the system only after finding the burned connector. So how did he? I guess he just looked in his PC and saw it. The power supply was later returned to Amazon while the graphics card was given to a friend for testing and appears to remain operational. Worst part, this was reportedly the second RTX 5090 connector failure experienced by the same user. The previous incident involved an RTX 5090 Founders Edition and a Corsair SF1000 power supply. I can tell you right there, that was part of the problem, because my EVGA that also melted was a 1000 watt, but it was EVGA. EVGA 1000 watt. It was ATX, not SF. But I'd imagine at SF, it's probably, I don't know, maybe not quite up to the task, but I don't know. Riptides. See, 1000 watt is the minimum recommendation for a 5090. That's like bare minimum, but like the actual recommendation I think is 1200 watts. Riptide says both connectors were fully seated and that failures. Yeah, we read that. The Bauer points to an uneven current distribution. Yeah, I mean, we all kind of know that now, right? It's just like it's due to uneven current in the cables and how it's displaced. I think the Bauer also has a wire view thing that's supposed to help with this. I think Overclock has one, so that's like supposed to be like the best way of handling this connector. The case involved a native 12-volt 2x6 connector between the ASRock power supply and the graphics card without NVIDIA's adapter. The exact cause cannot be confirmed because the power supply has already been returned, but the system reportedly continued running despite the thermal protection designed to prevent this type of damage. Many thanks to Riptide and the Bauer for the photos. It's so crazy, dude. That's wild, man. It sucks that this, is such an issue for sure. Let's see. I love seeing cards like these with actual designs. They are so unique. I agree. They are nice. I would be so upset spending a car down payment and it burns. I would too. So glad my 7800 XC is using 2x8 pin. I'm happy. Yeah, I hear you. That is like, to me, that's a major selling point of AMD right now is the whole fact that most of their cards, not all of them, but most of their cards are still using the 8-pin connectors. They do actually have what is it? The Sapphire Nitro, I think is what it is. So 9070 XT Sapphire Nitro actually does have the 12-volt connector, and it's already melted multiple times, and there's quite a few reports on it. Let's see what else. Speaking of Intel Dunlow platform spotted with 28-core Nova Lake S Xeon and LGA 1954 socket. Intel Dunlow Xeon leak points to 28-core hybrid Nova Lake S CPU. What does this mean? So Intel is preparing a new entry Xeon platform based on its upcoming Nova Lake S architecture. Shipping records shared by x86 is dead and back mentioned the Dunlow platform with up to 28 cores, an LGA 1954 socket, and a processor power rating of up to 95 watts. The records also specify 2 channels of DDR5 memory. This places download closer to Intel's mainstream desktop platform than its larger Xeon workstation and server platforms, which support more memory channels and PCIe lanes. Interesting. So I guess, is this supposed to be a workstation CPU, but it's more closely spec to a desktop CPU? That's interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Um, yes, can recommend. I know nothing about electric stuff, but could they figure out how to balance the current between the pins and cables? That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would absolutely be nice. Definitely. Let's see what's next. Let's see. Intel Core Ultra 5 245K drops to $179, $40 below current 250K plus pricing. The 14 core Arrow Lake processor is now $40 cheaper than the Core Ultra 5 250K plus. So yeah, if you're looking for a deal on a CPU, there you go. There is a deal. You get 14 cores for $179. That's not a terrible deal. That's the other thing too. I want to point out real quick. For the longest time, I as primarily an AMD user, I kind of discounted E cores. I'm like, E cores like garbage, whatever. But it turns out like E cores are actually really useful, and they're actual cores on the die, right? So like they're real cores. They're just not as like powerful as performance cores, and but they can fit more E cores on this, on the CPU than they can the performance cores. So I mean, like, it's an actual 14 core CPU. It's which is pretty impressive. For 179, that's not terrible. Intel Core Ultra 5 245K is now available for $179.99 through Amazon US. Amazon is selling and shipping the processor directly, with the listing showing a typical price of $194.99. Intel originally set the trade price at $309 and the box recommended customer price at $319. The current Amazon deal is therefore $139 below the box launch price, representing a reduction of around 44%. Well, we all know how unlikely were people to pay the original price, so this SKU got a very quick price cut to 200-ish price. The Core Ultra 5 245K features 6 P cores and 8 E cores, providing 14 cores in total. The unlocked LGA 1851 processor boosts up to 5.2 gigahertz and supports Intel 800 series motherboards. The discount also follows Intel's recent pricing update for the newer Core Ultra 5 250K plus. Intel announced that processor in March with pricing starting at $199, but its current recommended customer price has increased to between $219 and $229. Amazon currently sells the Core Ultra 5 250K Plus for $219. This makes the discontinued Core Ultra 5 245K around $40 cheaper, although the newer Plus model offers a higher core count. There you go. All right, there's a deal for you guys if you're looking for a new CPU. So let's see. E cores are great on ARL. I do miss my Cores Ultra CPU sometimes, but it was a headache to tune. So, I mean, this 270K Plus has been a lot of work to tune. I'm not going to pretend like it hasn't, because it's definitely been a lot of work. But now that it is tuned and I have all the numbers like saved and locked, I'm done. And now I just get to use the system every day, and it's running great. It's running very great. On my next update, which will be a while, I'm doing the biggest Threadripper Pro I can afford. Oh man, that's crazy. I went down the rabbit hole of looking at getting a Threadripper system just because it's so over the top. You know what I mean? But then, like, when you look at workstation performance, it's incredible. But then when you look at gaming performance, because I know it's not a gaming CPU, you're like, man, it's kind of crazy to spend all that money and it just can't do everything there is to do. But I don't care about max frames on hardware. I just want great, good frames for the monitor I run. Prefer no frame gen for me. I understand that completely, and I totally respect that entirely. Absolutely. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, GeForce GTX 960. I don't have one of those. I have a 950. GeForce GTX 960 runs Half-Life 2 on React OS using legacy NVIDIA driver at 60 FPS. React OS runs Half-Life 2 for over 10 hours on GeForce RTX 960. Let's see. React OS uses Tori Hibiki user, ReactOS user, has published more than 10 hours of Half-Life 2 gameplay recorded on a computer running the open source operating system. The tests used a GeForce GTX 960 and a nightly ReactOS build that ran a virtual machine. The footage shows the game running at 2560 by 1440 with 6x MSAA and 16x anisotropic filtering. Performance appears to remain close to 60 FPS through most of the recording, although the video does not provide benchmark results or frame time data. A legacy NVIDIA Windows driver was installed to provide hardware accelerated graphics. There is a small discrepancy over the exact release. The YouTube description reportedly lists version 368.81. Windows driver for a Creative Sound Blaster Audigy card were also installed. ReactOS is a Windows-like operating system, not a Linux distribution or Wine configuration. Its developers aim to support Windows application and hardware drivers through an open-source implementation of the Windows NT architecture. The current ReactOS 0.4.15 release remains classified as alpha software, while nightly builds include newer changes with a higher risk of regressions. ReactOS has a long way ahead, but perhaps despite limited resources and access to open source documentation, the new AI tools will accelerate the process of bringing Windows-like app support to this otherwise niche operating system, which for some reason still carries Windows 95 UI design. This is kind of crazy. Let me pause this real quick. So let me get this straight. We're finally getting a different OS to choose from that's not a Linux distro. It's a Windows distro. It says Windows like operating system. This is wild. This is crazy. Okay. How long is yeah. Yeah, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but this is kind of so this is running on a GTX 960. That's wild, dude. Let's see the chat. What are you guys saying? Oh, there we go. Oh, chat's popping off again. HEDT server stuff. Gotcha. Thanks, John. ASRock Taichi 9070 XT has the 12 volt high power connector too. Oh, I didn't know that. I just want to see gameplay, not cutscenes. Come on. I didn't know that ASRock Taichi also had the 12 volt high power connector. I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. Feels like they're answering the AMD's EPYC chips on the AM5 platform. Yeah, sounds like it. I've been using the 285K with the 5090 and have no complaints. Banger CPU. That's fantastic. I'm happy to hear that. Happy you're happy. Oh, so you see there was a frame drop there. I saw that. That was clear as day. But still, GTX 960. But also, I mean, Half-Life 2 is really old. I think it's just showing like, hey, we have like another operating system in development that's going to be open sourced and you can play video games on it. I don't know. It's definitely a little bit janky, but also at the same time, it's like, I can respect it. I see what they're trying to do. But yeah, that's very interesting though. ReactOS, that's something I need to, look into a little bit more. Let me catch up on chat here. Let's see. I'll take 8-pin connectors any day of the week. Yeah, I agree. E-cores are great. Yeah, I do miss my Core Ultras. Oh yeah, we talked about that. I already have the 240 circuit and a server UPS in the room. Dude, that's crazy. That's so wild. But I don't care about max frames. Yeah, for some reason my chat's like only partially loading on my phone. So lame. I have a 5965 WX Pro for my home lab infrastructure. Man, that's wild. How much did that cost you? Because I know those things are not cheap. Even though most of us joke and laugh at console players, one thing I must admit is consoles are so much less maintenance to keep up with. It's also more of a turn on and play. Yes, it absolutely 1000%. At 1000%, I agree 100%. Yep. The 245K should be great as long as you can get the NGU die up to around 3000 megahertz. LIRC, they are only clocked to around 2200. Gotcha. Okay. I have a PNY branded GTX 960 and it has a 4 gigabyte frame buffer. Well, hey, if you get ReactOS, you can play Half-Life 2 apparently. Let's see. Windows like, not Windows itself. Okay, but what is it built on? If it's Windows like, what is it like? That's what I'm trying to understand, because he said it's not. He said it's not a Linux distro. So does that mean it's not built on Linux, but it's open source? So like, what is it built on? And I know Linux is not an operating system; it's a kernel. I get that, but I was just confused by the wording of it. RIP EVGA, tell me about it. Look at those reflections years before RT. I miss those days. Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, I hear you definitely. Man, I was playing Batman, dude. John, I sent you pictures in a video the other night. I don't think you responded to it. But you know, of Batman Arkham Asylum, and it's like so atmospheric, dude. It just runs so well. Which maybe here in a minute, like we can like test something, like test the game or something. Yeah, Half-Life 2, baby. Didn't they do like an RTX remix for this like not too long ago? I think Linus covered it or whatever. But yeah, React OS, I definitely need to look more into this for sure, 1000%. I need to go back and play Half-Life 2, and maybe I'll install the RTX remix stuff just to give it new life. And yeah. See, maybe like some of the frame time stuff in the beginning, maybe that was just it like trying to buffer and load, because now it seems to be running fairly smoothly. I'm not really seeing any hitches. It looks pretty good right now. Um anyway, yeah, React OS is something I'm definitely gonna look more into. 1000%. 1000%. That's very cool. That's very cool. All right. Asus unveils triple mode ROG 27 plus monitor with 4K 240 hertz, QHD 400 hertz, that's what, 1440p, and FHD 1080p 488 hertz modes. Wow. Crazy. Asus is preparing a triple mode monitor for the ROG 20th anniversary. Pricing and availability have not yet been confirmed. Well, we all know it won't be cheap. Asus has announced a new 27-inch ROG gaming monitor with 3 resolution and refresh rate. With 3 resolution and refresh rate modes. The model was shown in China as part of the company's ROG 20th anniversary product lineup. The monitor uses a fast IPS panel, and runs at 3840 by 2160 with a 240 hertz refresh rate in its native mode. Users can switch to 1440p at 400 hertz or 1080p at 488 hertz through overclocking. 3 display modes on 1 panel. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm at a point now, man, where it's like, if it's not OLED, I don't want it. I am so spoiled. I am so spoiled by OLED. Like, I appreciate what they're trying to do, and it's nice to have options, because it's like, hey, you know, for single player story driven games, you got 4K, and for, you know, twitchy FPS shooters and esports players, you have 1080p, and then everything else is like in between at 1440. I don't know, but like I appreciate what they're trying to do, but I'm an OLED guy through and through. Connectivity includes DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.1, and USB-C. Asus has not confirmed the exact port count, USB-C power, delivery rating, response time, brightness, or adaptive sync specifications. Asus has not announced this international product name, price, or release date. All right. And then, yeah, we briefly spoke about that. Now let's do a refresh over here. So, hey, tell me in the chat. So, what are you guys thinking about the Steam Machine? Like, real talk. Like, where's everybody at on the Steam Machine? What are we thinking? How are we feeling? Let's see. Yeah, the game did look insane for its age, John. Let's see. I bought the special 2 years back, so I got 8 sticks of cheap ECC LR DIMMs, 256 gigabyte. Nice. Arkham still holds up? Yes, it does. I mean, it's said to be run on an open source implementation of the NT kernel, likely clean room reverse engineered. Okay, I'm gonna have to look more into that. Got it. Oh yeah, you're right. That is what it said. It said Windows NT kernel is what it said. Okay, got it. Clear. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm streaming and reading, and it's just everything's going on at once. But no, that's really cool. Thank you, man, for pointing that out. Thank you very much. Back, I got a garden veggie pizza. Nice. Yeah, my wife and I, we ordered mellow mushroom tonight. And let me go back over here to this real quick. That come back down, go back over here. Yeah, my Yeah, my wife and I, we got let's see, mellow mushroom tonight. We did a half and half. I got, you know, Mighty Meats is my side, and then she got this thing called like the ribeye pie or philosopher's pie. So that was pretty good. Man, I'm trying to think, is that like, I got like this weird line. Got this weird line on my screen. I'm trying to think. I'm like, is that OBS or something wrong with my monitor? Let's see. I want to note my 2 gigahertz epic passed at almost a decade. Well, RIP and also happy belated birthday. That's crazy. I have never played Half-Life. I started on PC in 2021. Yeah, fun fact, I've never fully played it either. I think I started Half-Life 1 and didn't finish it. OLED, it's not OLED, it was fast IPS, unfortunately. It was already so ancient in 2021. Yeah, it's really old. That's why they did that RTX remix, and it was able to breathe new life into it, but I don't know if they finished it. I don't know if the RTX remix was just like the first 2 levels or something, so I don't know if it's like the full game or not. My brother is spoiled on OLED now. Dude, OLED's the way to go, bro. If it's not, like I said, if it's not OLED, I don't want it. Personally, like, I don't care anymore. I have monitor companies contact me all the time. Hey, Rock, we would like to send you this monitor. I'm like, well, what is it? They're like, it's fast IPS. I'm out. Done. I've been there, done that, not impressed. And I don't want to be forced to lie on camera. Not going to do it. So if it's not OLED, I don't want it. I've been lucky with OLED and QD OLED, but OLED has longevity issues. So I can say I own 2 OLEDs. One is like really old. It's a good like 4 or 5 years old. I think it's like 4 years old. I've had no issues so far on either one of my OLEDs. My current OLED, my OLED monitor I'm currently using, it's definitely over a year at this point, which isn't saying much. And then my other one is like 4 years old. But yeah, so far no issues on either one of them. Let's see. Once you go OLED, you can never go back. Oh, snap. Thank you. Wow, $20. Holy crap. Thank you, man, for the $20 donation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sorry I don't have any alerts or anything popping off for it. Is the RTX 4070 still good? Man, I would say it it depends on what you're using it for, man. I mean, obviously if you want to do 4K gaming, no. It has access. I'm trying to remember. It has access to frame gen 1. You won't have access to multi-frame generation. You won't have access to dynamic frame generation. 4070, remind me, chat. I think that was 12 gigs of VRAM, right? But yeah, it just depends on what you're using it for. I mean, at 4K, definitely not. At 1440p, you can run so many cards now at 1440p. Fine. But yeah, some games will be worse than others. The good news is NVIDIA has updated the DLSS models numerous times now, and they always back support that. Like 2080 Ti is still getting updates for DLSS. So the good news is the 4070 has also gotten several updates as well. But it also comes down to price. That's the other big one. So like, have you already bought the 4070, or are you looking at buying a 4070? And if so, for how much? But yeah, man, thank you so much for the $20 donation. That was hella supportive of you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. You did not have to do that at all. Thank you so much. Wow. 12 gigabytes over 192. I gotcha. Yep. Appreciate it. Still a super solid 1440p card. Yep. Frame gen is super solid nowadays. Yeah, that's what I was saying with 1440p, man. That's the thing about 1440p that I love. You know, if you run 1440p, you have a whole host of GPUs that are totally fine at that resolution. The moment you go 4K, your GPU selection gets a lot smaller. Now, obviously, it can stay wide if you're going to implement everything like, upscaling and frame generation and stuff like that. But if you're just talking native performance, yeah, at 4K, especially these days, your GPU selection gets a lot smaller. But 1440p is awesome, dude. And I see the difference between 1440p and 1080p. I really do. So yeah, it's a great 1440p card, man. But thank you again. Wow, so much for the $20. I really do appreciate that. And frame generation has gotten a lot better too. One thing I'll say about frame generation, and I've said this for a long time, I've been very consistent about it. Hogwarts Legacy has a phenomenal implementation of frame generation. It looks incredible, dude. Like I've always been super impressed with how well they implemented frame generation in that game. Cyberpunk, even though it's supposed to be like the showcase game for Nvidia, I think normal frame generation is okay, but when they implemented multi-frame generation, like it's in my review videos, you can see it. Like you got frames everywhere. It was not a good implementation, but I'll be honest, I haven't checked it out in like 7-8 months. It might be better now, but yeah, it's crazy. So I play at 1440p and on a 5070 Ti and a 7800X 3D. I don't use frame gen at all though. I understand. And honestly, man, at 1440p, you really don't need to. I mean, again, it depends on what game you're playing and how optimized or unoptimized it may be, but still, yeah, definitely. I don't mind using frame gen on a lot of games, at least at 2x, 3x, and up, not so much. If the eyes wouldn't jitter in frame gen, I agree. Certain games do it less. I can't deal with that. Once you see it, you stare at it. I do agree. Once you see it, you stare at it, definitely. Space Marine 2 frame gen implementation is amazing. Definitely does depend on the game, though. That reminds me, yeah, because I played Space Marine 2, and I think... I can't remember what I played it on. I might have been using frame gen for it, and it ran pretty well. You know another game that does well? Remnant 2. You know Remnant from the Ashes Part 2, the sequel? That does frame generation pretty good, but I was pissed off at that game because I love that game. I had so much fun playing it with my buddy Max V Gaming, who was in here earlier. I had so much fun playing that game, right? So much fun playing the game. And I was playing it on a 4090, but the game did not run that well at 4K. It was one of those games that's like super demanding, not the most optimized, so you kind of have to use DLSS and frame generation. But frame generation ran very well in that game, Remnant 2. It's also a fun game if you got somebody to play it with. Let's see. I got a 1440p OLED 27-inch LG with a 4090, and man, it looks like 4K. I have a 4K monitor too, but I have a KVM switch. Nice. Yeah, so I actually have a monitor in right now from Asus. It's a 1440p OLED. They sent it to me and want me to review it, make a video on it. And I owe them that video. I am definitely behind on making it. But the little bit of testing I did on it, I was pretty impressed with it. I'll say this, like, it's hard. Again, it's hard to be excited when you're at the top of the mountain. And what I mean by that, and I'm not bragging or anything, but it's like I have a 4K OLED from Asus that I paid for. Like, they did not send it to me. I bought this thing like over a year ago. And so when they send you a 1440p OLED and say, hey, check it out, it's like, this looks great, phenomenal. But then you kind of do see the difference between the texture, or like the text anyway, the clarity of text between 4K and 1440p. But that doesn't lessen the monitor any, because the monitor is amazing. It's super awesome. It really does look good. I need to get the video done, but anyway, yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, dude, like I said, OLED, I'm all about OLED. At some point, I'm gonna have every monitor in this house be OLED, and everything else is going away. I'll donate it to a church or something. I don't know. I need to play Remnant 2. I bought it for less than $10. That's a hell of a deal, man. But wanted to play it with someone else. You need a friend. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You need a friend, preferably 2. Like, if you can get a party of 3, that's a sweet spot. And I had a couple of times where I was able to do a party of 3, but for the most part, it was just my buddy Max and I. The 270K Plus is the beast for work and play. Love it. Yep, it is. 270K Plus is awesome. Running the stream right now. Totally fine. No issues. My last couple of videos on the channel have been recorded, edited, and rendered, and thumbnails created all with the 270K Plus with 0 issues. Hey, there you go. Fallen Legion's offering to play it with you. You guys link up, exchange Steam information or whatever, and have at it. Have fun. Matchmaker E-Rock right here. Nice. I know that's right. LOL. I had a non-OLED monitor from AOC that is a 1080p 180 hertz display, but 1440p still looks beautiful on it. Nice. All right. Wait, I'm confused, buddy. It's a 1080p monitor, but you said 1440p looks good on it. Did I misread that? Let's see. I'm game. Awesome. Glad you guys can link up. I was playing Resident Evil 9 at 4K, but was only getting 30 to 35 FPS in the game, but it was so smooth. I may have been getting 35 FPS, but the lows were like 32, 33. It was so good. Well, hey man, if you were happy with it, that's the main thing. I'll say this, and I'm all about being honest. Even though I kind of hate to admit this. So Lego Batman came out, and I ended up building like a small form factor PC in the Fractal Terra, and I put it in the living room to play with my son, and we beat the entire game together in the living room. So we're in the living room, it's on a TV, couch co-op, split screen with controllers. That's the situation. And I was running it on a 9060 XT. The TV's 4K, so obviously we're having to use FSR to upscale and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, this is actually running pretty good. You know, I didn't have any frame rate counters on or anything. I'm like, I wonder what this is running. I noticed some dips at times and some stutter, but for the most part, I'm like, man, that's pretty good. One day I turned on the frame rate counter, dude, and it was getting like 35 FPS. And I was like, I just said 35 FPS was running pretty good. What's wrong with me? But true story, that happened. But you know, there's a difference, right? When you're playing on like a large TV, you're sitting all the way back on the couch, split screen, your son's next to you talking, you got a controller. That's different than like actually being at your PC monitor and stuff, right? Let's see. Super resolution. Got it. AMD super resolution. I'm a 7700 XT user. Man, I don't see many of those. I thought you said you were going to bed. Didn't you say it was 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. over there? Where are you located, by the way? Let's see. Rather I have, let's see, with my 1700. I have a 13900K. Is the 270K a good replacement? Well, I would say, you know, they're so close in generations and what they're in capabilities and stuff. I would just say keep your 13900K at this point. I don't think you would be getting a proper upgrade going to the 270K plus. I don't think so. I haven't looked at, well, I've seen the 270K plus beat the 14900K in some benchmarks, but I've seen it lose in other gaming benchmarks as well. So it depends on the games you're running. But I mean, I would imagine other than the power difference, I just that's a switch where I'm like, yeah, there's some benefits there to get to 270K plus, definitely. But I'm like, I don't know if it's worth the money. But then again, you could, well, I'll take that back. You could sell your 13900K and literally do like a trade for the 270K plus, like finances wise, because 270K plus US MSRP is 300. They recently raised it to 350, which was stupid on Intel's part, but I see it all the time for like 280, 285, 275. Dude, you could probably sell your 13900K for exactly what you need to buy the 270K for if you wanted to do that. But I don't know if it's worth it, man. Because you also have to get a new motherboard. You can't just use the same motherboard. So that's even more money. So no, I think you should probably stay where you are, man. Fellow 70XT user. 7800 XT. Sorry, I don't know why I'm like shorthanding everything. Just tired of downclocking for temp. Yeah. So what are your temps like? When you're complaining about temperature, I'm assuming in gaming. So like, what resolution are you playing at? What games are you playing? What's your cooler situation looking like? Let's see. Hey, can you please test the 270K on Counter-Strike 2? All right, I'm not gonna remember that, so let me take I'm gonna take a screenshot real quick. I got the chat pulled up on my phone. It's somewhere right here. Can you please, where is it at? Okay, it's somewhere. Okay, I just screenshotted it for you on my phone. I will do my best to remember to do that test and give you information. But buddy, I'm sure there's already videos out there showing that information for you. I've got the TCL 4K QD mini LED. Can't get it in the US. I'll take that over any LED any day of the week. Yeah, I have one mini LED monitor. It's my wife's back there, that white one. I featured it in her setup video. That bomb, like nobody watched that. And I was surprised by how good it was. Like, it's still nowhere near as good as OLED, but if you can't have OLED, I think that's the next best thing for sure. I really need to clarify what I say up front. Yeah, man, because for me, it's just a wall of text, right? And I'm just like reading it and I'm like, what? Yeah, but love my AMD graphics cards. Nice. Dude, it just thundered super hard. Okay, if the stream cuts out, then I lost power. It's thundering super hard right now, dude. Let's see. But that said, my gamer still... AHS, the QD OLED on it, it still has the QD OLED on it, but I usually don't get to game until it's dark out anyway. I understand that. Adult problems, right? I get it. Been there. I am there. Could you test out CS2? Yeah, Counter Strike. I told you I took a screenshot of it. I'm not gonna test it right now. I don't even have it installed right now, but I can test it and provide information. I even have a 5700 XT I am not using. Oh wow. What do you plan on doing with it? That was like when I first got into YouTube, that was my first GPU, man. 5700 XT. Fantastic 1440p GPU. Awful content creator GPU. But I didn't know what I didn't know at the time. I have a 6600 XT, 7700 XT, 97 XT, upgrading from the 6600 XT, 7700 XT for AV1 encoding on her Twitch. Nice. Yeah, AV1 encoding is so huge, man. So huge. I have all those GPUs in the back, which I've reviewed on the channel. But that's quite a collection you got there, bud. If your 12, 13, 14 Intel is running fine, don't change it. I agree, man. That's pretty sound advice. Now that you say that, my cooler I bought in 2022. Okay, so you're looking at 4 years old there, not including the previous shelf life before you purchased it. When I did this build, so it might be time for another cooler, or it might be time for more thermal paste. It might be time to repaste it. Have you repasted it since you built the system or bought the system or whatever? That's something else to look into, man. Probably need a newer, better cooler. But open the window midday, let the light in, and OLED changes. It's a love-hate. I got you. Yeah, I hear you. Dude, I turn off my computer every single time I hear thunder in the distance. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I got you, man. I got you. Well, I'm enjoying streaming right now, and thankfully, not to brag, I do have the hardware to spare if something happens, but I'm connected to a power surge and everything, so I'm hoping everything's gonna be okay. Like, I have a whole home power surge protector that I paid for, like from have the electricians come and install it, so it's like a big boy. And then I also have one connected directly here to my setup. Let's see. Also maybe a mild undervolt. So I currently have my 270K plus undervolted. Did you guys all watch the new video on the 270K plus? If you haven't, please go watch it, because I'm trying to get channel activity back and get my channel popping again. You know, like, comment, do all the things. But two, Kaiba incoming to say hey to everyone. All right, baby, that's fine. And then two, what am I gonna say? Hey, buddy. Look at, say hey. You wanna say hey to anybody?
Yeah. Hey.
Did you have fun at swimming? Are you still rocking that tattoo, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Tattoo.
What are you and mom about to do? It's 8 o'clock.
I don't know.
You know, you gonna watch a movie or something? Don't do that on my stream. Don't do all that on my stream. He's 7. Excuse him. Yeah, you see yourself on there, huh? Sweet boy. Yeah, it's a little bit behind. So the actual live stream is a few seconds behind what's going on in real time. And they do that on purpose in case something happens that you don't want to be seen live. Then you have your life ruined or something. Was swimming okay? Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. When can you do your video for me? I don't know. We'll figure something out for you to do. I did a Pokemon video on the channel a long time ago, and I featured him in it in the beginning, in the intro. And that video went on to do like got out of focus. That video went on to do like, I don't know, 100-something thousand views. And don't do that too hard, because you're gonna shake my stuff, okay? That video went on to do really well, and ever since then, his whole thing is like, he's like, Dad, if you need more views on your channel, just put me in the videos. And he's like obsessed with that. You did say that. You totally said that. All right, Han, I lost my place. Hey, stop! You're shaking everything. Okay. Oh, let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm actually undervolting the 270K plus. I talked about it in the video that I uploaded yesterday, and yeah, I have just a mild like minus 50 millivolt. My camera's like picking up on you more than it's picking up on me. My face is a little fuzzy now because you're here. See how clean you look? See how clear you look on it? Yeah.
Look a little fuzzy.
Yeah. All right, be careful. Don't fall. Using your stream as something to watch and listen as I update all my mods. Very chill. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on in the background. I in my video that I released yesterday, I talked about modding Batman Arkham Asylum, and I updated it with like 4K textures, 4K assets, and all that stuff, and it's been running great as well. Let's see. See what else is on here.
I keep forgetting if I go this way, I come I'm in the ground level. But if I try to go this way, like basically out of the game.
Yeah.
And if I like want to go out, like I just go this way.
Oh.
When I go in, I gotta go this way.
Got it. Did the whole house power wall charge when it's cheap? Run off pure battery. It's custom. My state hates me, but they let me have it. Nice. That sounds pretty dope, man. Have you been able to overclock performance cores? Yep, absolutely. And all that information is in the video. But yes, in short, my P cores are locked at 5.5 gigahertz. My E cores are locked at 4.9 gigahertz. My ring clock is locked at 4.2. My die is I couldn't get it higher than 3 gigahertz, but my NGU is locked at 3.4. Hey, and then let's see. Learning today. Okay, yeah, y'all are talking about that. Let's see what else. Everybody says, hey, big man, temp tattoos are the best. They really are. What is your tattoo of? No, USA. You can't see it over there. Here, come here. Come over here. Come here. Pick you up. So show them right there.
Yeah.
See, 250. Yeah, we went to a 4th of July thing, and they gave out
Festival.
we went out, festival thing, and they gave out temp tattoos, 250.
Do you have to talk in that?
Yeah, I have to talk in that. It's the microphone. It's the microphone.
Well, can they hear me from here?
I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. Talk. I'll see where it says Shure SM7B right there. See the green?
Yeah.
All right, hang on.
Yada yada yada.
Yep. See it moving? That's you. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. That's you. He's been asking to learn how like microphones and everything works.
Because I want to make a video for him.
Mama says that temp tattoo has lasted days. It really has.
It actually really has. I think I washed mine off. I was like, oh, I forgot I had my tattoo.
Gotcha.
Now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
So when I did it, I was like, okay, I'm keeping my tattoo on.
Yeah. Let's see. Yes, I'm trying to catch up on chat here. Let's see. The cam is trying to tune out the bald man. Yeah, it really is. It wants to pick up on the guy with style right here. Him.
Yeah.
Let's see. No problem at all. You put out good content. Also, any games you suggest I should run to try and push the 97EXT to its limits. I run all my games too well. LOL.
Wait, didn't you make a video?
Yeah, I made a full video on 97XT. That's why he's asking me. Well, I mean, shoot, if you could run Cyberpunk maxed out, then that's pretty impressive, right? If you run Cyberpunk pretty well, then yeah. But I mean, really outside of that, how does Crimson Desert run? Because I know Danny Z did a full video on it, but it was around the launch time of Crimson Desert, and I know that the 97XT did okay, but I think there was a few moments where he was like, hey, this could be better. And I wonder if they patched it and made it any better. So you could check out Crimson Desert. I heard Forza Horizon 6 didn't run the greatest at first, so that might be something to check out. It's just like a status update, like, hey, like I'm live, that's why it's pulsing eRock on tech, and then it's like settings, we're at 1080p 60 quick sync AV1 encoding, that's what the CPU is doing. Hey everybody, please like the stream is what it's asking them to do. And then it rotates every 5 seconds. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And then it rotates again, and channel memberships will be live soon, which I explained that earlier. I think Mama wants you.
Bye-bye.
All right, here. Oh, okay. He says bye, everybody. Thanks for letting him hang out for a little bit. Thank you, babe.
I can make you a video.
All right, we'll figure out a video, I promise. I know you do. All right, let's see. Everybody says you're awesome, buddy. He's like, he's awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. 7 years old. My little Kaiba cub is what I call him. He's Kaiba. So, pizza is ready. Nice. Battlefield 6. Awesome. Best way to make your GPU squeal, upgrade your monitor resolution. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. 4K. I mean, beat it down. Anyone care about physical media? I do. Yeah, I made that full video about it. Did you watch it? I can't remember if I saw you in the comments or not. I apologize. See you, kid. All right. Noted. Thank you. I'll look into Crimson when I get the chance. Forza Horizon 6, I'm also waiting to get. I can run Cyberpunk on high ultra settings, even with RT on high. Ultra is so sweet. Nice. I'm happy to hear that. My biggest thing, man, is I can never decide on the I can never decide on like my PC build and what I want to keep. You know, like I'm currently using. I have a black build, Lee and Lee O11 compact vision. I love it. It looks great. But then like I was using a white one for a little while. Then I went back to black. And like now I'm like super obsessed with that NZXT H2 Flow case because it's small form factor. Let's say I got like a cut on my eye. I just noticed that. Dang. Huh. Hopefully that doesn't stay. But the problem with like small form factor PCs, like I love the idea of them, but they're so limited, right? And then, you know, you don't have enough space to really exhaust the heat properly. So, you know, that can become a problem. So yeah. Let's see. Best content creator. I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I meant to, like I mean to upload more regularly, but you know, life happens, man. You know, as you see, I got a kid, I got a wife, I got a house, we got a dog, 2 cats, I have a full-time job. So it's just life gets in the way, and you blink as a content creator, you're like, what, a week's gone by and I haven't uploaded? Oh crap. And then, you know, doing the PC content, sometimes it just takes so long to get up and running. Like doing this Intel challenge, I had to first decide, okay, what's the challenge I'm going to do? And then when I decided, okay, I'm going to do it, then I run the poll 270K, 285K, which one, right? And then everybody says 270K plus. So then I have to go out and buy it and make sure I got a motherboard for it, update the BIOS in the motherboard, build the PC, tune it, learn how to tune it. And I mean, it just takes days and days of time. And then next thing you know, hey, I'm good to film. Let's start filming. But by then it's like I've lost favor with the algorithm because I haven't uploaded in 3 weeks. So then my my first video bombs like really bad. And then and yeah, anyway, it's just, and then the Intel video didn't come out the gate doing as well as I wanted it to, but it's starting to pick up and I'm grateful for that. I'm supposed to have a Steam Machine video in the pipeline, but my editor said it would be done today. And now he's like not responding to anything. So I'm just like, dude, what the F? I'm actually going to text him right now. If I need to edit it, just let me know. I thought it would be ready today. Anyway, so that's the other challenge too, is like I edit mostly everything myself, but I've been trying to outsource stuff to editors because that helps, right? Like if all I have to do is just record and then get the testing done and I let somebody else edit it, then I can move the pipeline along a lot faster and produce a lot more content. Problem is I got one editor who's relatively cheap and affordable, and I'm like, that's respectable, I can do that. But he needs a lot of work. He's not that great. Then I have the other one who's phenomenal. He's everything I need to be, but he's expensive. And I'm like, man, like really expensive. And every time I talk to him, he's talking about increasing prices again. Like we've had like 3 pricing discussions. I'm like, dude, we can't keep having this conversation, man. Like find a price that works and let's just freaking do it, you know? But anyway, anywho, the Intel vid was how I found your channel. Oh, sweet. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I literally just started that challenge. I'm coming off of a 9070 XT 30-day challenge, and I did a whole video series like that. And that's what we're doing here, where it's like I use something I don't maybe normally use, which in this case I usually use AMD Ryzen. Now I'm using Intel, and I'm using the 270K plus because it's the most well reviewed Intel CPU recently. And then I just share my experience along the way. So like not only are we live streaming, kicking it, talking together, but like this will become a video where I talk about, hey, I went live and here's the live streaming experience with the 270K plus. This is what I was able to do. This is what it looked like. This is what it sounded like. This is how it performed. Like right now, as I'm talking to you guys, I have stats pulled up on OBS and I can see the status of live, and it lets me know, like, here's your frame rate. Here's your average frame time render frame. This is how many frames you've missed. This is how many frames you dropped. And the answer is 0. Like we've been streaming now for 2 hours almost exactly. And we've dropped 0 frames. Now, some of that is network related, but also a lot of it is CPU related, and we have 0 drop frames. Everything is ran totally fine. So now I get to report on that in a follow-up video. And then we'll do some other things where we'll do some benchmarks and things of that nature. And then eventually after 30 days, I'll do like a 30-day roundup video and just share, hey, after, because the problem, so I'm a tech reviewer. I get review samples from time to time. And one of the problems with hardware reviews, and this is true for anybody, Linus Tech Tips, Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unbox, everybody, you get the review sample. They give you like a week if you're lucky, but it's usually like 4 or 5 days. And it's like, here's the GPU. It has to be released by this day, right? Here's the embargo information. So then like you're just rushing to get the benchmarks done, which leads to sometimes mistakes happening. But then like you rush to get the benchmarks done and you publish it, and then you're exhausted and you're like, okay, I need a break. And then you come back and you're like, okay, well, what's next on the docket? And it just continues. And then like you never really go back and revisit that piece of hardware. And then people are often wondering, okay, well, like, I mean, you put it on a test bench, you tested it, it performed that well, but I mean, what's the daily usage like? I mean, how does Windows really interact with it, and how this, and the other problem with benchmarks too, is that they're usually being ran on test benches that are clean. They don't have Discord on it. They don't have OBS on it. They don't, they don't have all this other stuff on it. So, and you're like, well, but if I put it in my main daily PC that I'm driving, it's like, yeah, I'm going to have OBS. I'm going to have Discord. I'm going to have MSI Afterburner. I'm going to have Steam. I'm going to have all this stuff on it. Right. So anyway, bro, your month-long AMD challenge did great, dude. It was awesome. Like I was floored at how well the channel did from that. The last stream we did with that AMD challenge, I peaked over 50 people viewing, 50 viewers at one point. That was insane, dude. It's crazy. I saw a video of a PC build last night with a B580, $100, even a good gold rated power supply in a nice case. That's crazy. Wait, so the guy got the B580 for $100? Is that what you're saying? Dude, if I can get one for $100, I'll pick that up and add it to the GPU collection. I loved your streams with other PC tubers. You should definitely do more. Froggy is great. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I hate that the last one I did with Frog and Silicon Steak I was so laggy, and they're like, oh, it's your internet. And I'm like, but I'm live streaming right now and the stream looks great. I think the difference was that I'm doing it directly from OBS to YouTube. We were going through Discord and then out to YouTube. And I think that had something to do with it, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I want to do more live streams with other YouTubers. I want to do more stuff. Like I wanted to do another podcast with Danny Z Reviews and Taekwondo. And I don't know what it is with those guys, but recently, like getting them on the same schedule has just been very complicated. I need to start busting their chops and telling jokes about how they secretly don't like me anymore. I know that's not true, but just to make jokes. One thing I do struggle with is streaming. However, I think it's Wi-Fi related. Oh yeah, dude, I'm not doing Wi-Fi at all. Like I'm hardwired in. My name is Ahmed and I follow the content you provide. May God bless you. I appreciate it. Thank you, man, so much. I really do appreciate that. You as well. Load in my junk and what does it do is a big thing people don't get. Load in my junk. What? I'm sorry, I'm not following. Even GPUs, that's an issue. Yep. $1,000 build. Oh yeah. Load in my junk and what else is? Yeah. $1,000 build. Oh, sorry, I totally misread that. I thought you wrote 100. Oh yeah, it is 1,000. I'm sorry, dude. I read that. I was like, $1,000. Yeah, $100 is what I read. I'm sorry, dude. I apologize. I've been looking at the screen for over 2 hours. No, 1K full bill would be fine. I get it now. Yeah, I see that. My bad, guys. Yeah, totally. So, let's see what else we got going on. Discord, personal files, and whatnot. Yep, gotcha. So, so now that things are slowing down, let's see. I'll just talk to you guys, make a few announcements. So first and foremost, thank you all for being here. You're incredible. I really do appreciate it. So being a content creator sometimes is really hard, and it's even harder when you're trying to do real life on top of it. Because you're like, man, I want to be bigger. I want to be more successful, but I need to be able to put in the time. And then when you do finally get the time to do it and the videos don't perform well or something, it hurts, it hits, and you're like, man, dang. But that's just the way it works, man. It's kind of like, rolling dice, and you just keep rolling until you win, or you casting a fishing line. You just keep casting until you finally catch a fish, That's sometimes how it is. But things coming down the pipeline for the channel. So we got the Intel 270K plus challenge going on. I'm going to do multiple follow-up videos on that. And then I got channel memberships going live soon with Discord access. And then eventually I'll elevate that whenever I release my app. I have an app I worked on called the NXE app. It's basically the Xbox 360's NXE dashboard for PC gamers. And it fully integrates and connects with your Steam account. The best part, and here's the thing that I love the most about it, I worked really hard on this. It's limited in features because there's no login access, but I thought the trade-off was worth it. So like you can literally download the app, you create a profile in real time right there, and you just call it whatever you want, like, Snickerdoodle 1234, and you're just in. Like, call it whatever you want. And then you can literally, there's a full friend system with server integration and everything. You can add me as a friend on it. And chat, there's a full chat system, emojis, messaging system, everything. And if the app does well, and if I get enough people to become a channel member and sign up and use the app, then I will invest the extra money to bring back our version of Xbox Live Chat inside that app. And it'll be an alternative for Discord at that point, because I know there's a lot of people getting upset with Discord and stuff, but it could be something that you just use kind of local with your friends and stuff, or with the eRock community. And then I have an announcement system built into it where I can push out announcements to people. But yeah, it fully works. But there's no login access required. There's no email, there's no phone number, there's no authentication, no age verification, none of that stuff. It's just an app that is like an interface that you use to interact with your PC. And it's like, think of it as like a full screen launcher. Ideally, eventually you can use this as like a Windows, or I'm sorry, as like a couch gaming thing for PC gamers. But yeah, you can connect your Game Pass account or your Game Pass library to it, your Epic library, your Steam library. And then of course I made an option for direct exe files, like if you were to pull something in from GOG, for example. So super excited to launch that pretty soon. She did only install a 1 terabyte NVMe and 16 gigabyte DDR5. Gotcha. Hello, how y'all doing? Doing pretty good. How are you doing? W app, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be launching that very soon. And then other than that, I think I'm going to also start a second channel. Oh, I'm going to start 2 other channels, one of which I'm not going to mention because I don't even know the name of it yet, and it's probably going to be like a variety channel. But I think I'm going to launch a second channel called probably eRock on Gaming, so that I can relate the two. You'll have eRock on tech, and then you'll have eRock on gaming. Because that video that I just made the other day about the physical media and stuff, I was looking at it, and I knew it wouldn't do that well going into it, but it did do worse than I expected it to. And I'm like, okay, part of the problem is because, like, in my head, I built the channel to be around PC gamers, but reality speaking, it's more like PC hardware. And the moment you talk more about the gaming aspect, like there is some gaming that bleeds over into it, but the more when you make a video just about gaming, it's like, he's not talking about hardware, I'm not interested, right? So I'm like, if I have a dedicated gaming channel, I can talk more about the gaming side of stuff, and then the tech for the tech side of stuff, right? But the thing with eRock on Gaming is that it'll be a completely different format. You won't see my face. It'll be faceless. It'll be gameplay commentary, and I'll just talk about the high level stuff. Me personally, what I've been watching a lot less tech content now that I'm doing tech content, and I'm kind of into it. Like I'll read up on the latest and greatest, but then it's like, okay. For entertainment, I've mostly been enjoying a lot of the old school. It's like the old school commentary style, but it's coming back with new creators. Like there's a lot of new creators coming on the platform that are basically just doing Call of Duty gameplay commentary, Halo gameplay commentary. And I've really been enjoying that because with that type of commentary, you can just talk about whatever you want. But I want to make one that's like really focused on gaming, and then I'll make one that's focused on lifestyle stuff. And that one, I don't know if I'm going to share that one. We'll see what's up. But anyway, but that's just, but I'll definitely let you know when eRock on Gaming launches if you guys want to support that. Obviously let you know when the app launches. Discord channel membership should be live within the next 24 to 48 hours. So if you see join and want to be part of the Discord, that'd be the way to do it. So yeah, that's some stuff there. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so I have like, let me pull up my notes app real quick. Let's see. So looking at my notes, and I'm like, okay, videos to make. So switching the Intel for 30 days. So I made that video, live stream testing. We're doing that now. Video on how the live stream went. I need to film that next. And then the final video. But I want to do some stuff in between. So I know some people want to see a video talking about like the before and after on tuning, like was the tuning worth it? So I guess I can talk about the clock speeds and then maybe show some gaming tests. That might be one thing. I could definitely show. I know Cinebench went up, like multi-core went up, but that's synthetic, right? So maybe I can do like some gaming tests and say, hey, this is, the performance difference. I can obviously, if I really want to put in the work, I can like fire up my 9950X3D system and try to do a comparison that way, which I probably will. And then, so I'm not currently using Intel 200S Boost. From what I was seeing online, that's only good at default settings, and then you turn it on. But if you actually manually tune the system, I was seeing people say that you're not supposed to use Intel 200 Boost. Is that true, chat? Can you confirm that or not? And then there's also I made a note saying video on Intel optimization tool and if it matters. I'm trying to think of which. Oh, that's the APO tool, right? So that's the one where it's like you turn it on and it affects certain games, like certain games receive a performance boost. So I need to test that as well. I need to look more into that. Doing pretty good. Just got here after watching your 5060 Ti video. Oh, nice. Upgrading my setup soon and deciding what GPU I want to buy on a 3050 right now. Gotcha. Well, I'm happy to hear that video is still pulling in viewers. It's a little bit old at this point, but that's awesome, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it or watched it. Thank you. I hope you found value in it. So are you looking to get a 5060 Ti or what are you looking to do? Like, did the video help you decide to go 5060 Ti? Are you leaning towards something else? I'll be honest with you, at a 3050, almost anything would be an upgrade for you. I've been getting into Resident Evil games. I bought RE9 a few months ago, and only a couple of days ago, Resident Evil 0 Remastered. Nice, dude. That's awesome. So my buddy that was here earlier, Max V Gaming, he's a die-hard Resident Evil fan, dude. Like, absolutely love Resident Evil. I have Resident Evil 4 Remake in my collection, and I've started it, but I haven't finished it. I've been meaning to go through it. You're lining up a great number of days. Enjoy it. Oh yeah. Thank you. Let's see. The velocity boost falls off at 70C if you're talking about that. Maybe. But isn't there like velocity boost and then isn't there like in my BIOS I saw something that said Intel 200S boost and I thought that was a different setting to velocity, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not I'm still learning this, right? And trying to figure out what the best methodology is for things. Check out 9060 XT in comparison to 5060 Ti. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I was looking at the 5060 Ti, was leaning into that, just looking to get the best card I can while not going over 650-ish. I understand completely, man. It's super expensive out there for sure. Where are you located, sir? I'm assuming you're in the U.S. What state are you in? I mean, if you don't mind bringing that up, because I was going to say you might be able to check your used market. I know Taekwondo, friend of the channel, he's constantly sending me messages about the deals he's found on like on Facebook Marketplace and stuff. And I mean, he gets some steals, dude, in his market. He's in Boston. You're in Georgia, dude? I'm in Georgia. I'm in Marietta. That's crazy. 9070 non-XT is less than 650 USD. That's true. That's a good card. And also if you can find it, they just released the 9070 GRE, which if they honor the MSRP, I think it's what, what was it, 549? I think that's what it was. But I don't know how that compares to the 5060 Ti. I haven't actually looked at the benchmark results for that. Crazy coincidence, yeah. 200S boost raises fabric speeds to match. Okay, so can I? Okay, that's it. Okay, so I guess my main question though is, can I use? So now that like I've manually tuned my system, right, where I have like locked 5.5 performance, 4.9 E-cores. So like I can't use any of the boosting technologies because I've locked it, right? It would have to be unlocked in order to take advantage of like Intel 200 boost, velocity boost, everything like that, right? If I understand correctly. If you're using or planning on using Linux, the 9060 XT would be better for sure. Absolutely. If you're gonna run a Linux OS, you need to go AMD. That would be the way to do it. 9070 GRE equals 4070 greater 5060 Ti. Okay, gotcha. I've seen 9070 GRE going for less than 500 at Micro Center. Less than 500 is not terrible. Let's not forget the B580 has 12 gigabytes of VRAM. It's true. I don't even know if Micro Centers had a B580 last time I went there. They might have. W Georgia crew. I'm over near Gwinnett. No way. We got 3 people from Georgia. Overclock was in here earlier. He's from Georgia, so that's 4. Dude, that's crazy, guys. I'm still here as far as I know. Let me double check. Let's see. I'm looking at it on my phone. Still says I'm here. Yeah, still says I'm up and running. I bought a 7800 X3D. LGA 1700 is dead. Let's see. Once you're locked, no benefit. Yeah, I thought so. I have family in Marietta. Nice. Man, small world. Please understand I choose to not live near them. I understand completely. I got family I don't live near as well. 200 S boost confirmed. You cannot lock. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, no. Let's see. Velocity boost. We have a great area from vendor. Intel has never answered us on that. Interesting. Okay. Gotcha. No. So, what was I going to say? You were talking about, platform longevity. That's a good topic, right? So, my Firefox got weird. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was freaking out for a second. I saw your comment. I'm like, did I crash? Because like a lot of you guys don't know this, but that 9070 XT challenge did very well for me, right? And the streams were popping. What a lot of you don't know is I finished that last video. I took a vacation. I came back and I was like, man, I'm itching to stream. Let's stream. And I streamed. It was last minute on a Sunday. I didn't schedule it, let anybody know. I basically pre-scheduled it 2 hours. Like I didn't schedule it like I scheduled this one. I basically scheduled it for like an hour and a half out, maybe 2 hours. And then I went live and like nobody showed up. I think at one point I had a total of like 5 people. And I was like, man, this kind of sucks. And the stream before that I had 50. So that felt really bad. And then the stream crashed on me out of nowhere. And I've never had that happen before. Out of all the challenges I've done in testing, I've never had a stream crash. So I haven't streamed since. So tonight I came in, I was like, is this going to work? So when I saw your comment about, did he lose power? I'm like, no, please tell me no. Like my stream's okay. But no, it looks okay. So it's fine. But no, I saw somebody talking about platform longevity, right? It's like LGA 1700 is dead. So I'll put it to you this way, right? And I do. So I'll tell you my default answer, and then I'll tell you like what I'm starting to open up to, right? So my default answer is, okay, massive advantage to AMD is platform longevity, because you can come in as cheap as you want. Like you can come in on like the ground level, like buy the cheapest AM5 CPU and motherboard and all that stuff and just get into the ecosystem. And then whenever, you know, a couple of years go by, you have a little bit more money, you can just upgrade the CPU, drop in. It's a drop-in upgrade. And that's it. That's all you need. So that's a massive advantage. And then AMD just confirmed that they're going to be supporting AM5 through 2029. But then on the flip side of that, I've seen other content creators, you know, say, well, what's the big deal of that, right? Because if they can say they're supporting until 2029, but, you know, we don't know what those CPUs are going to look like. We don't even know how many CPUs we're going to get. There's so many things we don't know. It's just a marketing statement. So, you know, how much do you want to put into it? And then my counter argument to that would be, well, look at AM4. AM4 is just celebrated 10-year anniversary. They just this year they put out updates for AM4. So clearly, like AM4 is their historical record of supporting a platform for 10 years. So there's something to be said for that. However, what I would say is this, right? Platform longevity, I think there's 2 ways of looking at that. There's future upgrades, and then there's like BIOS updates and stuff. BIOS updates, security updates, and patches, that's a non-negotiable. You have to have that, right? And so like if you know, okay, well, Gigabyte's not going to patch my motherboard anymore with a BIOS update because, well, you know, LGA 1700 is dead. That's a problem. That's a massive problem, and that should not be the case, right? But if the question then becomes, well, I just won't have any more upgrades. Next time I upgrade, I have to get a whole new motherboard, a whole new CPU. That's very true. And a lot of people say AMD is the advantage for that. But what I would say is, how often are you looking to upgrade, right? Because see, with me, I do this stuff for a living. I do this every day, right? This is my life. So for me, like I'm cycling in and out of hardware all the freaking time anyway. So there is no set it and forget it option for me. There is no, I'm just going to lock in and be done. But you guys are not me. Like this is not necessarily what you do every day, right? So you are looking for those set it and forget it options. You are looking for the CPU, the motherboard, the GPU that you can lock in with for a few years at a time. And if that's the case, then I would say, does it really matter about platform longevity? Because even if LGA 1700, LGA 1851, whatever, even if they weren't dead, quote unquote, and they had 5 years worth of support, if you buy a 270K plus and you're super happy with it and you're super locked in with it, and you plan on keeping it for 2, 3, maybe 4 years, let's be honest, in 3 or 4 years from now, are you even going to care that there's just a drop-in upgrade? Or are you really going to be looking at maybe the hottest thing on the market at that time, which is probably going to be something completely different, right? And that's the way I'm starting to think about things, you know, but everybody's different, man. So you guys tell me, like, how much is platform longevity a factor for you? Like how much of a factor is it for you? Like how much do you weigh that in whenever you're buying a CPU and a motherboard? At least it was only 5 people. That's one way of looking at it for sure. Yeah, my Firefox browser screwed up. That's what happened. I got you. I saw 14900K for 288. Dude, that's cheap. Was that secondhand or was that like Newegg or what was that? I don't think platform longevity is a thing anymore. I mean, how long has 12th gen Intel been out in like AM4? It's been good for a long time, right? People that are on a budget are the ones that don't upgrade very often. They keep the system for 5+ years. That's true. Depends on how fast the newest gen is compared to my CPU. Gotcha. That's fair. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, everybody looks at it completely differently, man. And I know Hardware Unbox is like a big supporter of the whole platform longevity thing. And I get it. I mean, drop-in upgrades are nice. And that's why a lot of people are kind of, you know, supportive of the 5800X3D re-released, even though it came out a little bit too expensive, in my opinion. It's because for the people still stuck on AM4 and they can't go to AM5, they can't go to Intel because RAM right now is too expensive. They're like, dude, I'm not going to pay $500 for RAM or $600 or whatever it may be. I'm not going to pay that. I'm just going to stay where I'm at. And then AMD says, well, hey, how about a drop-in upgrade with 5800X3D? They're like, yeah, I'll take that. That's going to be a noticeable uplift for them. And they don't have to buy RAM. They don't have to buy a motherboard. So in that argument, right, like platform longevity is a massive benefit, right? But everybody's situation is completely different. I don't know what you posted. Maybe it was a link to something. YouTube has this thing where they like automatically just strip out all the links. That's not me, by the way. I just see that it says retracted. I don't know if you deleted it or if YouTube auto deleted it, but I just wanted to let you know. I am intending to run my 270K plus for 10 years. That's wild. Like as your main, or do you mean like you're going to cycle it through your family for 10 years or cycle it, you know, to other systems or whatever? It was brand new in the shelf at Walmart. Wow. For 288, dude, that's a steal. Did you buy it? Walmart. I didn't even know Walmart sold CPUs like that in store. Where was that located? Like what state was that? I'm directly in that camp right there. I plan to keep my 5700X CPU and 7800 XT GPU for a long time to come. Gotcha. Man, I ended up spending $320 USD for secondhand Facebook Marketplace RAM. Yeah, RAM right now sucks, dude. I've ran my Q6 for 9.5 years. Nice. Segued into AMD AM4. Ryzen 7 2700X. Been running AM4 ever since. Gotcha. Are you still on the 2700X or did you switch that to something else? But also, didn't you just say you're going to run 270K? Maybe I'm mistaken with somebody else. I saw the link just up and disappear, so YouTube likely retracted it. Gotcha. Okay. I have a 5800 XT CPU with a 7800 XT and a 5900 XT. Let me do this real quick. Cool. And a 5900 XT with my 7900 XT. Nice. Nah, it was a trap. 7800 X3D is $350 at Amazon. That's a little more than I think that one should be, if I'm being honest with you. 16% of the shop I'm working with has been a direct consumer feed, and it was all AM4 updates, proc, and RAM deals. Nice. Walmart sells actual CPUs, apparently, dude. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I bought my 5070 Ti at MSRP in January of this year from Walmart. Funny enough. Interesting. MSRP? Like, wait, let's make sure we're on the same thing on that. Okay. MSRP, you mean like, what was it? I think it was 749, 750, right? That was MSRP, I think, if I remember correctly, when that came out. Yeah, Walmart sells CPUs, but you have to be in one that's big and has a computer section. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm in Georgia, so I'm not too terribly far away. But dude, I've never seen a CPU or anything like that. Yeah, 749. I've never seen a CPU or anything like that at Walmart. You can build a PC at Walmart. It's scary. Dude, I remember those old videos back in the day where people used to make fun of like Walmart pre-builts. I did a completely new build with 9850X3D and 9070XT this April before price hikes hit, but I'll probably build another with a next Zen 6 and RDNA 5. Nice. Dude, okay. So talk about the future real quick. So things that I want to see, right? So, okay, realistically, I don't want to see GPUs, like a new generation of GPUs, until pricing gets under control. We can't keep having this. NVIDIA says 5080 is going to be $1,000 MSRP, and then 5080s come out. The only $1,000 MSRP ones are the Founders Edition, and you can't buy them anywhere. And then you have nothing but AIB models that are $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. I don't want that. So that needs to change. I don't think it's going to change, but I want that to change. That's one thing I want to see. On the CPU side specifically, I really just want to see a simplified approach to CPUs. Like, for example, even though the E-cores seem to work very well on Intel, it would be nice if they could just get back to like a monolithic design and just make it simple. You know, like, hey, you have X amount of cores and they're all the same type of core. It's not P versus E or anything. It's just straight cores. Here's your threads. You're done, right? Just keep it simple. That would be nice. And on the AMD side of things, I want to get away from dual CCDs. I don't want to have to worry about core parking. I don't want to think about core parking. I don't want to have to buy third-party apps like Process Lasso to assign apps to cores and CCDs. Like, I don't want to do that. Because see, right now with AMD, and you might be like, well, you don't have to do that with 9800X3D. That's true, but do the math. Go look at it, guys. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but did you know with AMD, if you go over 8 cores, they do not offer a CPU with more than 8 cores without core parking. So every CPU they offer this generation that has more than 8 cores, core parking's a thing because of the dual CCDs. And I'm just like, that sucks, dude. Like, I would love to have more than 8 cores without the offset of core parking. And the thing is, I mean, like, once you set it up, it's not that big of a deal, but it's like, I went through a lot of learning pains trying to figure out, okay, why are my cores not parking, or why are they taking too long to park, and why is that app using, you know, my frequency cores or why is the game using frequency when I needed to use cache, and why is the app using cache when I needed to use frequency? And I had to go educate myself on all that stuff, and a lot of trial and error, and I figured it out, and I put it all in the video for all of you, so you can go watch it if you need to know the information. But it's just like, dang, that was more work than I wanted to do, man. Let's just simplify it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to see from the future for Intel and AMD. Let's see. So I don't think about platform longevity, though. The girlfriend will appreciate platform longevity. I got you. Fair enough. Well, I know you say girlfriend, not wife, but you know the old expression, right? Happy wife, happy life. So I bought my RTX 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte for MSRP for 429 and my 5060 8 gigabyte for 299 MSRP. Nice. See, back in the day, MSRP was like the worst it would get. And then like you would get things below that and you're like, oh dude, I got it on sale. You know, it was like $50 off MSRP. Now MSRP is the deal. Like if you can get it for MSRP, that's the deal. Zen 6 will be real exciting if it can overclock to 7 gigahertz. See, I find that fascinating, right? If it can do 7 gigahertz, yeah, duh, that's incredible, right? But I'm like, they haven't fully capitalized on 6 gigahertz yet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, we're barely touching that, and we're supposed to just skip all through the 6s and go straight to 7. I don't know, but that would be a massive uplift. That would be a massive, massive uplift, man. And I would be all over it like white on rice if we could, you know, if they do it. I don't think any new GPUs other than a super refresh will release until late 27. And see, I don't even know if they're going to do the supers, man. They were going to do them and then they delayed them and then canceled them. And then supposedly they're bringing them back. I don't think they know what they want to do with the supers. Cause let's be honest, dude, if they release, maybe a 5080 super would do okay because nobody's happy with the 16 gigabytes of VRAM on the 5080. That's the thing that gets clowned for the most. And the 5070 Ti has pretty much been discontinued from what I understand. Maybe they have some remnants left over on shelves that you can still buy, but I think the 5070 Ti is pretty much not being manufactured right now, from what I've seen. So, but think about it. I mean, if they really release like a 5070 Super, hypothetically, if they're still offering 5070s, I just don't know if that's going to move the needle for a lot of people. And you know it's going to be more expensive than a 5070, so it's like from a pricing standpoint, it's not going to be any better. So I don't even know if they're going to offer the Super series at this point, but they might. Let's see. 5800X3D is still a really good deal because of the V cache. Yeah, 5800X3D is a great CPU, man. Let's see. At one point, it was the king until all the other ones came out. But yeah, and now it started the X3D stuff, and then X3D got so popular that now they have almost an X3D at every SKU. If they say MSRP 600, add 400 more dollars. Yeah, that's what it feels like. The dual CCD trend is only getting worse. Yeah, I want it to go back. Intel is even going that way. I hope not. Please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. I don't want to know that. No, please don't tell me that. 9950X3D2 doesn't need... Thank you for bringing that up. I wanted to ask that. Okay, so I have a 9950X3D. And when they announced the 9950X3D2, the one thing I was thinking about is, oh man, okay, now that the cache will be on both CCDs, maybe core parking won't be a thing and I won't have to worry about it. So I was actually looking at buying a 9950X3D2. And then it came out about $100 more expensive than what I expected it to be. And I'm like, this thing is super freaking expensive. And then I looked at the benchmarks and it got annihilated in all of the reviews. And the one thing that pissed me off is I was watching Gamers Nexus's review like with great detail, and maybe I missed it, but he's typically pretty spot on, and he never brought up core parking. And that was the only thing I really wanted to know is like, does this thing eliminate core parking? And I never heard him address it, and I never heard Jay address it. So you're the first person I've heard definitively say it doesn't have core parking. So I hope you're right on that. That's awesome, but I'm still not going to buy it. It's just too expensive. But that's good to hear. That's very good to hear. I'm like, finally, you know. But then what's the trade-off, right? Is it latency? Like, is it because like the reason why it doesn't have core parking is because you don't have to differentiate between frequency and cache CCDs anymore. Both CCDs now have the cache, and they like met in the middle on the frequency. But if they're exchanging information between the two CCDs, then is it a latency trade-off? Like, I don't know. Like, I want more information on it, but other than big tech tubers, nobody really has it because not a lot of people went and bought it because it's so freaking expensive. Zen 6 will be the first AMD CPU with 12 cores on one CCD. Sweet. I'm excited for that. Is there a release date on Zen 6 or an estimated time frame? I know everything's like kind of rumor and speculation right now. Let's see. I'm sad GTA 6 won't be coming to PC. I won't be able to test my build. Yeah, on it sadly. So I heard GTA 6. Yeah, so like number one, I don't agree with that. Like I don't think I don't think Rockstar is making the right move there. Like this isn't the early 2000s anymore. Like you don't wait a year or two to release a game on PC, you should do it day one. So I think that's a huge mistake. The other thing too is I don't know how true this is, maybe y'all can verify. I heard that GTA 6 will also be 30 FPS on console. That's going to be brutal, dude. Imagine paying all that money for a PS5 Pro and it's still 30 FPS. Ugh. But I don't know how true that is. We'll wait and see. But yeah. Let's see. I trickled down my PCs to my extended family. That's very kind of you. My grandson is getting my 5950X 64 gigabyte RAM PC for school. Well, you are just phenomenal for doing that. I wish my grandpa gave me that. My family gamer PC is still 5800X3D, 64 gigabyte RAM. Both have Radeon RX 97XT. Nice, man. That's awesome, dude. Intel got to 5 gigahertz over 10 years ago. Yes, they did. Yeah, they've been rocking that for a while. Amazon Prime Day had a 5070. Oh, chat went down. Amazon Prime Day had a 5070 for $580 with a $30 off coupon. Nice. So $550, which made MSRP. Nice. That's good, man. My 270K Plus PC is part of a Micro Center 3-in-1 bundle. I'm very familiar with that bundle. For $600, I added another 32 gigabyte kit of RAM and open box Taichi 9070 XT 4 terabyte Gen 5 boot. Nice. M.2 and 3 Gen 4 SSDs. Nice, man. That's dope. That's a good system you got right there. How are you liking the 270K so far, man? 270K Plus. Are you pretty happy with it? If they do a 5080 Super, they are really only competing with themselves. Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. But see, my argument with 5080 Super when it comes out with more VRAM is if I did a review on it, I'm going to say NVIDIA is giving you what they should have gave you day one. Here it is over a year later. Oh, at this rate, probably 2 years later. Yeah, like I love the 5070 Ti. If it was readily available at MSRP, I would recommend it to everybody. That or the 9070 XT. Those are my two go-to recommendations. If you look at the 5080 and 5070 Ti, they almost have the exact same memory configuration. And it's a little bit disappointing when you're looking at the price difference there with the 5080, because 5080, man, it doesn't even match a 4090 in performance, and then it has the same memory config as a 5070 Ti. It's just like, come on, you got to what's the selling point of this thing, you know? Anyway. And I say that I'm currently using a 5080 ROG Astral in the build that I'm using right now to run the stream. So, let's see. You do still need the core part. You don't want your games going across the CCD. See, I had heard that as well too, because it causes extra latency, right? Micro Center has a bundle for 700 USD, 7800 X3D RAM motherboard. Gotcha. Yeah, they have a lot of different bundles going on. They have some Intel bundles too, yeah. For the 9950X3D too, that is. Okay. 2027 I expect for Zen 6. Intel and AMD went at the top of the industry. Each charged $1,000 for their top consumer CPU. 9950X3D 2 may not have significant performance improvements, but it is the best. Are you using one, or have you used it or played with it? Sorry if you said that earlier. I'm starting to get tired standing and talking. 64 gigabyte RAM now. RAM, wow. Yeah. 30 FPS is evil. It's bad enough. Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS5 is still 30 FPS with no enhanced editor edition. See, that's kind of the thing. 5080 overclocks well, though. It does overclock. The whole 50 series overclocks pretty well. Like 5070, 5070 Ti, 5080. All of those cards overclock really well. I don't really know too much about the 5060 Ti and down. And 5090, I haven't really pushed that too much because it's already drawing so much freaking power. I want to underclock that, undervolt it rather. But yeah, like that's always been my main argument for PC over console is like with PC, you might have to jump through some hoops, but you can take matters into your own hands and enhance the game, right? Like you can make your own mods. You can use mods that other people have built for you. You can, manage the config INI file and unlock the frame rate. But if you're just a console player, you're completely at the mercy of the developers. If they decide to give you an update, you get it. If they don't, you don't, and then you're stuck with it. And yeah, that sucks, dude. Red Dead Redemption 2 is still 30 FPS. That's crazy. The 4090 also overclocks well. Yep. I got the 9070 XT from last week from Walmart for $549. Dude, Walmart's coming in clutch, dude. Like, I need to go shopping at Walmart, apparently. Gigabyte Gaming OC. 5070 Ti Super, 24 gigabytes of GDDR7. I would pay double for it. You would not need to upgrade for a long time. Pay double for it, and that's a lot of money, dude. Gonna put it in my HT PC. Nice. Thank goodness we have a Micro Center close to us. Micro Center is such a lifesaver with fair prices. And dude, I love Micro Center. I got people in my Discord that get pissed off at, well, I say pissed off loosely, but they always like want to argue with me when I'm like, well, dude, you just go to Micro Center, blah, blah. It's like, not everybody has a Micro Center and you should stop recommending Micro Center. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Micro Center is not like a nationwide store. I get that, but it's also not a mom and pop. I mean, they got 29 locations, you know what I'm saying? Like over the US. So it's like, they're somewhere in the middle. We can't just pretend they don't exist, but I also understand and respect that not everybody has access to one. So I get that entirely. 270K plus is amazing value for money. It crunches numbers like a 9950X, far exceeds my 5950X, and it games better than my 5800X 3D. Tomahawk has 2 terabyte 4, and I run. Nice. That's awesome. I don't have one, but the benchmark generally should it scratch and wins over 9850X 3D, 9950X 3D. Reviews are all complaining about the price. Yeah, and I mean that's typically how they do it, right? Price to performance. So they're like, yeah, it might be the fastest, but it's like, you know, how much faster given the money. A 4090, when I had it overclocked to 3.1 gigahertz with a firm score of 30,000 at 1440p versus 5070 Ti, gets around 19,000 at 1440p. Nice. How do the 270 plus and 285K compare today? Intel really needs to save the 285K. So from what I understand, from everything I've looked into, the loose way of understanding it is that a 270K plus is basically a slightly lower clock 285K or lesser 285K in some way, but they're more or less about the same. But you know, 280K or 270K plus is way cheaper. So that's pretty much the conclusion that I've gotten from like several videos and articles that I've read and watched. Yeah, and so yeah, that's why I almost went 285K for the challenge, because I already had one, but I didn't pay for it. It was sent to me by Asus. So I'm like, I could just use that and save the money. But then I already knew, I'm like, the moment I start talking about 285K, everybody's going to tell me how expensive it is and how they should just get, how I should have just got a 270K plus. So I'm like, screw it. I'll go get a 270K plus and not deal with all that. Right. Let's see. It's bad. Keep in mind, GTA 5 has had 2 or so revamps, including the enhanced edition. Yikes. Yeah. Wasn't there like a GTA like collection or something that came out that like the ports were terrible, if I remember correctly? I forget what it was. I thought it was it GTA or was it something else? I forget. Nearest Micro Center to me is nearly 100 miles away. That's unfortunate. It is, but I have people who have complained that it's much further away for them. So could be worse, I guess. But yeah, that is unfortunate. I have either a 6-hour drive. Okay. I live in Oregon. I wish we had a Micro Center. You do have the world's last Blockbuster, so that's pretty cool. I want to come out there and visit so I can go to that Blockbuster. But Micro Center does do kits on Amazon as well. Do they? Do they? I haven't seen that. That's pretty cool if they do. Micro Center is in most major cities. Yes. The Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi is a unicorn motherboard. M2 slots, 2 Thunderbolts. Nice. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I haven't used it personally, but that sounds pretty decent. The board proc at Micro Center for $450, no RAM, is compelling if you already have your own DDR5. Gotcha. There's a Micro Center at Miami where I could have got a way cheaper deal, but I just couldn't make the trip. I understand that. Miami, dude, is like a 12-hour drive for me, man, without stops. I live within 40-minute drive of 3 Micro Centers. 3? Dude, you got it almost better than me. I have 2 Micro Centers in my state. One is like an 18-minute drive, but the other one's a good hour. I shop at all three for the open box deals. The open box deals are awesome, dude. It was a collection that contained GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Yes, I remember that thing came out. It was apparently it ran awful. I believe Best Buy has 1,800 locations, something like that. But I think some people, including me, think like Jay's 2 cents going to Micro Center. I mean, sure, I will jump on a plane and come. It's the way. Gotcha. Also, all that sounds good. Yeah, honestly, the saddest thing is the entire community loves Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's well known Rockstar abandoned it years ago for GTA 5 online. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, the Best Buy. The Best Buy is in Bend, Oregon. Yep, I remember that. Bend is a really cool place to visit. Yeah, I've heard Bend. That's the only reason why I know about Bend, Oregon, is because of that Blockbuster. Yeah, you said Best Buy, but I think you meant Blockbuster, right? I am 3 states away. See, that sucks. That's a long way. Um, the Rockville Micro Center is the nearest one to me, and it's almost 100 miles away. So, see, if I was in that situation where I'm like, man, Micro Center is a long ways away, I like it would suck and I would hate it, but also like I would just like really gear up for those days. You know what I mean? Like just all right, guys, we're going out today. We're gonna drive 100 miles one way. And we're gonna make it a family event, and like just make the most of it. But it would be something you would do like maybe once a quarter, once every 6 months, once a year, something like that. I am a little bit spoiled. Like I can go to Micro Center literally anytime I want. And there have been some months where I go like 5 times in a month just because, like I said, it's 18 minutes away. And then there's been some months where I haven't gone at all just because I don't need anyway. Yeah, just because I don't need anything. Yep, Mint Blockbuster totally get you, bro. I totally get it, man. No worries. Yeah, so my goal is I'm gonna keep modifying the stream and enhancing it so that we have more things going, like when people donate or whatever, we have some alerts, but I don't want to make it too crowded. I think the audio levels were pretty good tonight compared to previous streams. I did a lot more testing on that. I'm still looking at the OBS stats right now. They're perfect. I mean, they're flawless basically. I know, like I said, a lot of that's network related, but yeah, 270K plus, man, it's holding up very well, guys. I'm really, really impressed with that. Yeah, I think one of the things I'm going to do, I'm probably going to fire up my AMD build, do some initial benchmarks, just keep it simple, and then put the 5090 over here with the 270K plus, run the same thing. And then, just kind of see, okay, how am I actually doing at 4K? And then maybe turn on upscaling and, okay, how are these, CPUs handling DLSS quality and all that? Because I know you guys were asking about that earlier as well. Train trip, car ride, bus ride. That's a lot. I live in Washington. Nearest is in California. Man, I want to go visit Washington State. I want to go visit that. I know it's very beautiful out there. You guys have like the Microsoft headquarters, Xbox headquarters out there, right? Bungie and all that. Well, that's where Bungie used to be, I think. Let's see. I think I would take the drive rather than overpaying. Not sure though. Maybe I'm biased because it's 25 minutes for me. Yeah, same. Let's see. 25 minutes isn't bad if it was more than an hour or two. I consider the price. Sorry, man. Just caught the end of the. Oh, you're good, bro. No worries. We've been doing great. Everything's been going fine. All good. No worries. I was just telling the chat earlier how you don't like me anymore. I was just joking. But no, it's all good. Kaiba's saying good night. Good night, buddy. Love you, man. Thank you, Mama Bear. Appreciate it. I'll probably be wrapping up pretty soon because we're approaching 3 hours. Let's see. I'm in Delaware and I'd have to drive over the Bay Bridge to get there. Wish they had one, at least up in Denver. How is the 270 in Arc Raiders? I don't know. I haven't tested it in Arc Raiders yet, but testing's coming. Come on, bud. Looking forward to watching you play PUBG CPU heavy. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, come here. Oh, my back's starting to hurt. Oh, Daddy's getting old. All right, tell chat good night. Say good night.
Good night.
Good night. You don't want to go to bed, I know.
I want to be with you.
What's tomorrow? Saturday? So we don't have any camps tomorrow, do we?
Maybe.
No, I don't think so. We're going to go to movies, watch a movie maybe?
Right. Like the Washington movie.
Young Washington?
Yeah, we were
Or
supposed to.
we'll just watch the next MCU movie here at the house. We'll figure it out. Anyway, all right, you gotta go
Black
upstairs.
Panther.
Yeah. You look good on camera though.
Hmm.
Love you, man. Let's see. Let's see. Pretty here. Yep. And Richmond. Yep. Yeah. Much love. We are the evergreen state for a reason. I'm going to play some games. Appreciate the content and the advice for my setup. Yeah, no worries. Enjoy your games. I might unwind a little bit later. Oh, they're saying that. Hey, look, he wrote "Good night, Kaiba." See your name in the chat. Good night, Kaiba. So good night, Kaiba.
Who sent that? Just a random YouTuber?
Random viewer, or not random, but like a supporter of the channel. I'm trying to see how to pronounce that. Exer 9108. 3-hour stream. Wow, time flies when you're chillaxing, tech talking. Yep, it really does fly.
Wait,
Definitely.
this has been 3 hours?
Yep. So 2 hours and 51 minutes and 25 seconds.
What?
Yep, because you went swimming. Kaiba after Seto. Yep. Yep, Seto Kaiba. Yep.
That's right.
What's your monster? Blue eyes, white dragon, right? What?
I don't have to have that monster.
Well, you can also have what? Obelisk? Exodia. Yeah, he's like, I want them all. All right, stop with that. Shit now. All right, I know Mama's waiting and you're delaying bedtime. Head up there, okay? I love you. Good night.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sleep well, bud. I'll check on you soon. Thank you, Mama Bear.
Bye.
Kids, right? Yes, after Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! Exactly where we got the name from. I have a billion trees outside my door. I love them all. So yeah, here in Georgia, like, we're pretty green as well. I don't know how we compare to Washington, but we're pretty green. Just finished my Cyberpunk mods. Everything enhanced. Awesome. Good night, young blood. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Taekwondo. W Kaiba. Yeah, appreciate it. Just brought back so many memories with that. See you around. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Yeah, he's a good kid, man. God really blessed us with him. We're super proud of him, and I mean, he's a 7-year-old boy. You know what I mean? He's very energetic and sometimes can be a bit much, but also at the same time, I wouldn't have it any other way. He's great. You know what I mean? So it's all good. But yeah, I'm gonna keep enhancing the stream and try to have more things going on for like effects and stuff, but not too much, and then get in some more different what am I trying to say here? Get in some more different scenes and stuff, and like I need to break my stream deck out of the closet and just so I can push a button and quickly better switch stuff. See, the thing is though, I started setting up the other stream and I had it really nice, but it's on the other computer and I don't have all those assets here. So this one, the little bit we got going on, I had to quickly rebuild all this tonight. But it's all good. Sometimes simple is the way, you know what I mean? Washington and Oregon have more. Gotcha. Okay. If you cut Cali in thirds, upper third has almost as much as Georgia. Wow, that's crazy. I look forward to your next stream. Thank you, man. Yeah, right now scheduling is like the only factor, just because like Friday nights are kind of the best for me. But he has swimming on Friday nights, and sometimes I take him, sometimes my wife takes him, and so my wife was like super supportive tonight. She's like, "You haven't streamed in a while. I'll take him. You stream." And I'm like, "All right, appreciate it." And then all the other nights of the week we have like extracurriculars with him, and so it's just it's just a lot. But the swimming lessons are coming to an end, I think, in 2 weeks. So, but I definitely want to get in some more. And then like Saturday night, it's gaming with the boys. You know what I mean? I try to get in some game time and stuff. But I'm supposed to be losing my job at the end of the year. I don't know what's next for me on that. I would love to go full-time content creation. I just don't think, I don't think the momentum is there yet, but I do have 5 months to just keep pumping content. You know what I mean? And who knows what I could look like in 5 months. And then also if I get the other 2 channels launched also, who knows, maybe. But I say that to say that as I grow, like maybe we can have a way to where like Like I stream longer and more often, maybe multiple times a week, maybe almost every day, and I game with the community. I don't know. Like there's so many ideas that I have around that, but it really just depends on what all this kind of evolves into. I really do think that once I launch this app, I think a lot of you guys are going to like it. I'm waiting on YouTube to approve my channel memberships, but once they approve it, we're gonna start popping. But yeah, I think you guys are really gonna like the app, man. It's really cool. And then hopefully your next stream I actually get notified this time. Oh, so like, did you click the notification button? Like, did you see the recommendation for the stream and then you hit notify me and it didn't notify you, or you just never even had that option? We had a storm which we lost over 200 trees and we did not even notice. That's a lot of trees. Dude, that is a lot of trees. That's crazy. You didn't even notice. Wow. Hopefully things go better for you with your job and YouTube, dude. I appreciate it. I mean, I got 5 months to figure out like if I go a different route. And I just had a buddy send me like a whole like certification course on Azure, Microsoft Azure stuff. And so I'm going to start looking into that, but then I have to decide. I'm like, okay, which side of it do I want to specialize in? And do I even want to do this? You know, like, I got options, right? And I'm grateful for that. I just have to really step back, dial in, and figure out, okay, what do I want to do, you know, type of deal. So, yeah. So anyway, there's that. Did you guys have any more questions for me or any more comments or anything before we wrap it up? I'm so happy that the stream didn't crash and everything ran really well. So far, man, like I said, in short, I'm hella impressed with the 270K plus. I don't have any complaints so far. My one complaint would be the amount of time it took me to tune the freaking thing. But outside of that, like that's like a one-time painful setup process. But once you're done with that, you're pretty smooth sailing. Windows feels super snappy. Editing is amazing. Streaming is amazing. So I can't really complain. You know what I mean? And never asked me if I wanted to be notified. The only reason I knew of the stream was because I am subbed, and gladly your premiere was on my feed. Okay, fantastic. I'm happy to hear that. Well, you found it, you're here, and that's awesome. I need to figure out what the next live stream is going to be about. I think so. This live stream, I mostly just wanted to talk, chill, catch up because it's been a minute. You know what I mean? And then also, I really wasn't sure if I was having internet issues or not because the streams with Frog Boy and Silicon Steak didn't go so well. But this stream went very well. So now I feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident to stream again sooner rather than later. So I think next time we stream, what we'll probably do is we'll get we'll fire up some games, get MSI Afterburner on the screen. We'll start looking at frame rate counters. And just like, I know I got some requests to do Counter-Strike 2, which I don't even have on my channel. I'm not a Counter-Strike player, so I guess we could run the in-game built-in benchmark, see what that does. I know I got some requests for Battlefield 6, PUBG. So yeah, we can try some different things out and just cycle through and talk, you know? I might be sitting down for that one because like, yeah, we're approaching 3 hours. My lower back is starting to get a little stiff. And let's see. Good night. Thanks for the stream. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Back. Sorry, I was working. Next stream idea, 9900K, 5094K. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not the next stream idea, but I do need to get that 9900K fired up and test it with a 5090. Why not? That's actually a good video idea. That's a good video idea. I could literally say I tested the 5090 with the 9900K. Like, just call it that. Just keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? 5 gigahertz all core. Yeah, as long as my 9900K can do it, I think it can though. What if you do some light gaming on some kind of CPU stress test or some kind of CPU stress test next time, or just more stream effects? Yeah, definitely I can do that. Absolutely, 1000%. Yeah, I just kind of I scheduled this stream earlier in the week, and I was thinking, man, I got all week to kind of set the stream up and stuff. But as the week went on, I had my work, family stuff. And then I filmed 3 videos. I edited one and passed the other 2 off to editors. And then I had to work with the editors, like negotiate, answer questions, get all that stuff done. And then the videos go live, and I try to support them when they're live. Like, you know, get in the comments, respond to comments, share the video around, talk to friends about why it's not performing the way I think it should perform, you know, just the whole 9 yards. And then before you know it, you blink and it's like, oh, it's Friday. I'm supposed to go live tonight. I got to get the stream together. Right. So that's pretty much what happened. One thing I did do differently for the stream is I do have chat replay on. So I'm hoping this time I can go back and actually see the chat replay and then be like, oh yeah, this person wanted me to test this. Oh yeah, this person wanted me to test that. And then I can, better do that. Modern Warfare 19. Oh snap. We got it coming in clutch at the end, man. See, I hate to get off when people are sending in money, right? $5. Okay. You're the GOAT. Love your videos. You helped me out a lot when I was deciding to get a RX 97 EXT now and a new CPU. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. It's very gracious of you. Thank you so much. Really make my night. You and the other person who also donated earlier. I appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously. Thank you so much. I have no idea why sometimes the donations are orange versus blue. Or green, like a teal. I don't know why that it's like that. But dude, thank you so much, man. Seriously, dude, that's freaking incredible. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Wow. Modern Warfare 19 gunfight 2x2 2v2. I don't know. I don't really play Modern Warfare 19, man. Standing up nonstop for 3+ hours. Yes, sir. That's what I've been doing. Standing up nonstop. I record all of my videos standing up. There's no chair back there. I got the chair right here. But I mean, I could sit down, but then I have to tilt the camera and then I feel like it looks a little dumb. But I might have to get over that. All right, bro. Thank you. Was listening to your stream when I was moving. Gonna go now. Have a great night. Oh, when I was mowing. Nice, mowing the lawn. Dude, that's awesome, dude. I get to be your dude. I always listen to people when I'm mowing lawn. So it's nice that I'm your guy. Thank you, man. What was your first CPU and GPU Res HZ favorite game? First of all, thank you for the $5, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, dude. My very first GPU was the GTX 950. I'm not including laptops and stuff like that. I was a console gamer, had a bunch of different laptops. My first desktop that I built was with a GTX 950, and my CPU, I wish Overclock was still here because he knows better than me. My CPU was an Intel. Oh, goodness gracious. I can't remember. I will find it, and I will find a way to get in contact with you, bud, and I will let you know. But it is an Intel. And I think it was 4 cores, if I remember correctly. Let me see. Do I have GTX 950 on here? Yeah, the 50 comes up. Do I have the picture? Oh, wait. I might be able to tell you. Zoom in. Oh, it's too blurry. I'll try this one. Intel Core i7. Dang it. And I'm trying, man. Try one more time. I can't, when I zoom in, it's there's not enough pixels to make it out. All I can see is Intel Core i7, but yeah, it's not really listed on the box, but I will find it and I will let you know, bro. But yeah, first, the first GPU was GTX 950, and then they changed the color depending on the amount given. Gotcha. Oh snap. Got another one. 1999. Just some more appreciation. Also, the colors change based on the mount. Gotcha. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for the support, dude. Wow, that's incredible, guys. Thank you. Wow, I didn't expect all that. Wow. Thank you, man. For a minute there, every time I looked up, it was new donation. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, thank you. Wait, I got an unk alert? What is, sent to get Silicon Steak. Yo, Silicon Steak, it's good to see you, man. Hey, dude. Stream look okay tonight, right? Because I know the last time we hooked up, it's my junk was all messed up. But I think it's been running pretty good tonight from everything I've seen. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. I got no drop frames. I've been watching it on my phone. I think it's pretty clear. I think so. Either the internet cleared up or it was the Discord. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really do. Perhaps it has will. A wise man once said, "If one is capable of listening to you without watching, then your entertainment is solid." Well, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Why aren't you wearing a blue shirt? I almost thought about that, right? And then I thought about our stream, and you're like, hey, I need a thumbnail. And yeah, you and your iconic red shirt. And I'm like, I haven't worn my red shirt in a while. But I probably should have been wearing a blue shirt. You're right about that. My first computer was a RTX 3050 4GB laptop and Ryzen 5800H. Sweet. That's awesome. I mean, like it's like, you know, lower end, but like, hey, we all start somewhere, dude. Dude, my first laptop, dude, was like some HP. I don't even know the specs on it, but that thing was trash, dude. Sent Onk alert for 440 joules. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you. I don't even like, how did joules even convert on YouTube? I don't even know what that looks like, man. My Series X ran so much better. I bet it did. Yo, looking great. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Dude, the stream looks amazing. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Dude, 270K plus it's freaking awesome on the stream. Yeah, Silicon Steak hooked me up with, I showcased it in the video if you guys haven't seen it. But I talked, like, I gave a shout out to Danny Z, but I had a special mention there for Taekwondo and his stuff that he's going through. And then I had a special mention in there for Silicon Steak, because when I was going through, like, hey guys, what do I change? What do I change? Silicon Steak literally broke it down. He's like, all right, you need to change this. Here's the expected ranges. You need to change this. Here's the expected range. You need to change this. I was like, dude, bet, that's sick. And and so I just went in and plugged in all those numbers, like, you know, one at a time, just to see what would work. And I was like, solid. I'm like, I can't do that. And I didn't really want to get into like amping up voltage and stuff. I actually did a minor undervolt and for temps and stuff. And now she's rock solid, running great, stable. I've had zero problems. And yeah, so far so good. Blue shirt and thumbnail, I feel lied to. You're right about that. Actually, the original thumbnail was red, and I converted it to blue to kind of promote Intel. But yeah, I total fail on my part, bro. But I got you some blue in that corner over there. Appreciate that, man. Let's see. Aloha and good night. I love down to earth banter. I have building PCs for 40 years. I play mostly RTS games, still board games, stringless. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And we say aloha. Are you in Hawaii? I've been to Hawaii one time. Amazing. I want to go back. Private Discord is low key buns. Maybe. Let's see. Spent $1,000 just to play Fortnite and play everything else in my series. Oh man, that's crazy, dude. So you play Fortnite on what, that laptop? And that laptop was $1,000. Is that what you're saying? I have no idea what joules are. I don't either, dude. My first PC was an Athlon 2 X2 265 Radeon HDs. Oh wow, that's all right. I just bought a 270K plus earlier after your after my recommendation? Seriously? Well, shoot. Awesome. Well, yeah, man, look, when that thing comes in, dude, go back to my video that I published yesterday. All of my settings are in there, and that'd be a good starting spot. And then you can try to amp it up a little more if you really want to, but I definitely recommend tuning it, right? Because I mean, like I said, dude, like, I started the stream earlier. I don't know if you were here. And I told people, I said, I don't want it to be a placebo effect because it's new and shiny and I have a fresh install of Windows. But Windows, it feels snappier compared to my 9950X 3D. And then I had like 3 people in the chat, dude, no, it's snappier. It is, dude, mine's snappier too. It is snappier. I'm like, okay, it's not just me. And they're like, no, it's like legit. So, but I do recommend tuning it. But yeah, all of my settings are in the video. And if you need any help, dude, feel free to contact me, bro. Let's see. Again, thank you. I was flip-flopping between 9900X, 7950X, 9900X 3D, 270K, etc. I was going insane. I'll be honest with you, out of all the CPUs you just listed, 270K plus, easy recommendation for me. I'm not a big fan of like the 7000 series at this point. Like if you're going to go with AMD, get one of the 9000 series CPUs in my opinion. And 9900X, I have a buddy, Max V Gaming, he was in here earlier. He recently bought that around Black Friday or whatever, and it's been good for him. It's been a good solid CPU for him. 9900X 3D is, you know, it's okay. But even though it has I don't know, it typically performs the worst of the X3D processors. Like if you pull up like 9800X 3D, 9950X 3D, 9850X 3D, all the ones, you know, like that one typically is on the lower end. But yeah, 270K plus, easy recommendation. You should get a half red and blue shirt. I should do that. I should totally do that. Yes, the laptop was 1K and I played only Fortnite. Man, that's crazy. I was the guy that's selling his Ryzen 7800X3D to his brothers. Oh yeah, and I responded to your comment earlier today. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. Yep, that's the hi die and Gear 2 quick memory. Nice. Yeah. It's snappy, dude. It's hella snappy, dude. I'm super happy with it. I was talking to a buddy before I went live tonight, and I was clicking around on stuff, and I'm like, man, just Windows feels faster. Like it just feels much more snappy. And but I was scared to be too dogmatic about that, because I'm like, the moment I say that, it's going to come across like I'm shilling or fanboying or a placebo effect. But when I saw other people in the chat tonight saying the same thing, I was like, bet. All right, cool. Hawaii born and spent my last 8 years in the U.S. Navy station Pearl Harbor. Currently reside in suburban Maryland. We're outside Washington, D.C. I was in Maryland 2 summers ago. Took my son that was here on stream a while ago to Washington while my wife did a conference for her job. When we went to Hawaii, we went to Pearl Harbor. We took the tour and stuff like that. And also, thank you so much for your service to the country. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Another thing you can do is bump GPU clock to 48 in Asus BIOS. That'll be 2.4 gigahertz and make editing and streaming better. Gotcha. You mean the iGPU clock? Is that what you're talking about, bud? And then let's see. I've had my 7800X3D for 4 months now, and I did not regret it. And I do not regret it. Nice. Yeah, that was my first AM5 CPU when I first went to AM5. Whenever I want to upgrade, I would have just ended up getting whatever newer motherboard from that CPU generation. May that be Ryzen or Core Ultra. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's pretty standard. Yeah. Whenever I upgrade, I would just I think you're gonna be happy with 270K plus though. I know I am. If it's the truth, it's the truth. You know, I do know. Yeah. And the thing too, I just want to tell you this too. Just be careful. Don't get too caught up on YouTubers and what they're doing. Cause like with me, for example, like I'm using a 270K plus and right now I'm loving it. And it's an easy recommendation for me. But at the same time, the content for me has to go on, right? So I'm going to do everything I can with the CPU and everything I can to give all of you all the information you want to know. Hey, how does it run in Battlefield? How does it run in this? You know, all the things you guys have been asking me tonight. I'm taking note, making a list, checking it twice, all the things, right? And I'm just going to, you know, provide the information, but eventually I'll move on to something else and test that. Now, if the next challenge isn't CPU related, I might just stay on the 270K plus. If it's working better for me, you know what I mean? But if the next challenge is CPU related, then obviously I need to change it. So it just, you know, just be mindful of that too. You'll notice very flat frame times on a Tune 270K too. Yeah, I'm about to really start testing it. The only thing I've really played so far is like Batman Arkham Asylum, and that's like so old it'll run on a potato, you know what I mean? But I love that game so much. Try Halo Infinite. All right, I'll check it out. Isn't it funny how there used to be a time where AMD CPUs used to be a joke and more of a warning not to get, and Intel was in almost every PC? Yeah, it's crazy to see the flip-flop. I mean, in my video, I pulled up the Amazon bestsellers list, right? And dude, if you look at that screenshot, they're all AMD Ryzen processors. There was one Intel in there. I don't even know if it made the screenshot. It might have made it. There was one Intel processor, and it was a 270K plus. But every other processor was AMD, which is, and of course I had like 3 Ryzen processors in there, and it's just, or X3D processors. It's crazy. Dude, I love Halo Infinite. Yeah, big Halo fan. Oh snap, another 5. Wow, thank you. Could you get or have someone send you the new Samsung 6K 165 hertz for us? It's $13.50 USD. Well, I definitely can't have anybody send it to me. I don't have any contacts at Samsung, unfortunately. Asus would send me more monitors if I got this current monitor video done for them, but I haven't done that yet, so they're not going to send me anything else. And when they do, it'd just be an Asus monitor. I don't know about dropping $13.50, bro. I'm sorry. I do appreciate the support and stuff, but that's a lot of money, man. You know what I mean? E-Rock Steak, what's up, guys? What's up? Frame rate. How you doing, man? I seen that same video you made, very revealing on how far AMD has come. Yeah, it is. It's definitely revealing, no doubt about it. And thank you again, man, for the extra 5, dude. I really do appreciate that. You've always been super supportive of the channel. Silicon Steak dropping another gift, 67 joules. I have no idea what that means. I'm gonna like look that up after the stream. Like, what do joules mean on YouTube? Make use of that 5090 and the 32 gigabytes of RAM. Let's see. I'm waiting on Zen 6.7 PC, but I am really digging my 270K plus Tomahawk Wi-Fi combo. That's awesome. The connectivity is so fast. My jobs get done so quick. Now I have more time to play. Yeah. Yeah. I was really impressed, dude. I was really impressed when I first opened DaVinci Resolve and started editing. I immediately noticed the timeline was smoother. And then when I started looking at the exporting options or the rendering options, I noticed I was like, wait, there's more options here than what I had before. And that's because QuickSync's available, you know, and you can do QuickSync AV1. And then when I went to OBS, it recognized QuickSync AV1 immediately. Like I didn't have to do anything weird or anything like that. And then like this entire stream right now, this is all QuickSync AV1. I'm not using any GPU encoding at all right now. So it's awesome, man. It's pretty versatile. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. So right now I'm rocking a 5080 for the stream, but I'm probably gonna take the 5090 out of my other rig, put it in this one with the 270K plus, and I'll definitely do some more testing. And that'll definitely be coming in the near future in some videos. So stay tuned for that. You little chicken, JK, I understand. Well, I mean, the thing is, man, like I don't even know what I would use the monitor for, because I'm not, I don't know. Like I'd have to, let me look into the monitor, but yeah, 1300, man, it's a bit much. Some people are dropping out on Steam machines right now. Can you believe that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced came out locked to DLSS 3.5, but has a new DLSS frame gen model. Can't change it either. Interesting. I'm planning on buying that game, by the way, because like Assassin's Creed Black Flag is like my favorite Assassin's Creed, and I just haven't purchased that one yet. Mostly everybody I've seen praise it. They're saying good things about it. Like, you know, the graphics are great and it's pretty faithful and they made some things better. But I have seen complaints about the overwhelming amount of microtransactions. And I've also seen complaints about 30 FPS cutscenes. I haven't seen much yet about the DLSS 3.5 and frame gen. So when you say the new frame generation model, are you talking about the dynamic frame or I'm sorry, the multi-frame dynamic frame? What the dynamic frame generation where it can auto scale from like 2x to 6x? Is that what you're talking about? You should test 9070 XT, 270K plus, see how Intel and AMD go together. I could do that. I thought about actually testing that with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Actually, I thought about buying Assassin's Creed Black Flag, doing a benchmark run through that with a 270K plus and 9070 XT for the channel, and seeing how well that did. Let's see. Locked to DLSS 3.5, but the latest frame gen model. That is weird. Z-Worms made a video on it. The new preset B model frame gen is there. Got it. You know, man, I want to be honest with you. I am not really digging the whole model stuff, like, or preset B, A, whatever. It's getting to a point to where it's a bit much. You know, like it's one thing when you're like, oh, okay, you can have DLSS on or off. You can have DLSS quality balance, you know, quality balanced and ultra or whatever, ultra performance, whatever. Performance, ultra performance, all that stuff. Okay, that's one thing. But then it's like, okay, now you got preset M, preset B, and then there's frame generation and multi-frame generation, dynamic frame generation. It's getting to a point to where I'm like, guys, this is a bit much, man. You know, like, can we just get back to like raw horsepower here and optimization on the games? It's crazy, most definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know what? Because I'm about to call it and sit down here because my back's starting to get tired, or it's been tired, my lower back. And I'm gonna pull up that Z-Worms video and watch through it and see what's up, because I'm curious about that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna pivot from this, because right now as I talk to you guys, I got a Steam Machine video being edited. My editor finally got back to me. He's like, I'm sorry, it's coming. I'll have it done tonight. I'm like, all right. And it's just my thoughts on the Steam machine, and basically like, don't buy it, and here's why. I like the idea of it, I do, but I can't recommend it at that price. But in terms of like Intel stuff, I'm trying to think of the next quick video to turn around, and I'm not sure if I should just do like well, I'm definitely going to do like a stream related video. Hey guys, I went live with a 270K plus. This is what it looked like. This is what it sounded like. Here's the settings I use. This is why it's awesome. You can use QuickSync AV1. This is what that means. So I'll do a quick video on that. But then after that, I'm trying to think like, what exactly do I want to do? Do I want to do, you know, like just a quick game benchmark like Assassin's Creed Black Flag with it? Do I want to do a comparison? You know, I don't know. I got to figure that out. Personally, why I like AMD's, all around good upscaling, FSR 4.1 and Redstone. FSR 4.1, or really FSR in general, FSR 4, sorry. FSR 4, because I got to benchmark it right when it came out. It was a noticeable improvement over FSR 3, so I gave them a shout out for that. I'll be honest, I haven't really tested Redstone, haven't played around with it much, or I haven't played around with it at all. I've just seen other people's rhetoric on it, so I don't know too much about it. Frame gen, multi-frame generation models are A and B, okay? The DLSS 4.5 upscaler models are M and L, okay? DLSS 4.0 is K, and DLSS 4.0 ray reconstruction is D and E. I hope that helps. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm actually going to take a picture of that. Trust your word for it. Take a picture for it. Take a picture of it. Got it on my phone. So now that I know, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's crazy, dude. Having so many features is kind of a curse for us as PC gamers. I think sometimes it makes devs rely less on optimization because they know people will use stuff like DLSS and FSR, etc. Not sure. No, I agree with that. I definitely have noticed like games running worse as time has gone on. And then you kind of speculate the worst. You're like, well, maybe they're relying on DLSS and stuff, but you're like, really? Like, should I assume that? But then you have people like Randy Pitchford coming out with Borderlands 4 talking about, you just got to turn on frame generation of DLSS. The game was built with DLSS in mind. You're just like, it's like, you said the quiet part out loud. You told us all what we were already thinking, that you're not optimizing your games. You're just expecting DLSS to do all the heavy lifting. Got it. I've always been a fan of DLSS should be the icing on the cake, should not be the cake. And here's what I mean by that, right? I love the idea of DLSS breathing life into older hardware. My buddy Overclock, who was in here earlier, he has a 5090. He's not really happy with it. Draws too much power, and also he bought the only one he could get at the time, which is an AIO model, which is even worse because they're big, bulky, they take up so much space. You guys know the drill, right? So recently he's like, F that. He's like, I kind of just want to go back to 3090 Ti. So he bought a 3090 EVGA 3090 Ti for his collection, and he's been running that. And now, instead of looking at DLSS through the lens of, I hate DLSS, it sucks, I shouldn't have to use it, not that it sucks, but like, instead of looking at it through the lens of, I hate DLSS, why am I using this on the 5090, the world's most powerful GPU? He's now looking at it like, man, I'm grateful for DLSS because this 3090 Ti, which is, you know, quite a few years old at this point, DLSS is giving it the uplift that I need to still run AAA titles totally fine. And so like, so it's all about perspective, right? Like if you're running DLSS on like a 5090, it's kind of like, dude, like it's almost a $3,000 GPU. It's the fastest GPU out there. Why am I running DLSS, right? Like I should just be able to brute force this thing. Like that's the idea. But when you go back to older hardware, and now DLSS looks like a savior, right? So anyway, I don't know. Let's see. No problem at all, brother. Glad I could help. I appreciate it. Yeah, Pitch stinks. Yeah, definitely. I hate fake frames. This is very true. Yeah. Yeah, and you know the thing is, we were talking about the frame generation earlier, man, and you know, it's definitely not perfect, not by a long shot, but there are a couple of games that do it okay. I do, you know, I'll put it out there. I do primarily play with the controller. And so because of that, I don't feel the latency as much, but dude, you're not going to catch me dead playing like Call of Duty or Halo with frame generation. It's just not going to happen. If I'm using frame generation it's going to be in a single player story driven game where I'm just enjoying the scenery. You know what I mean? And that's also going to be because I'm playing that game knowing that that game is a broken piece of crap that needs more optimization. Because like you have a good GPU with raw horsepower, and then you decided I'm going to turn on DLSS, and that you're still like, man, I need a little bit more smoothness here. Then I'm using frame generation. But dude, I've used frame generation a handful of times ever, and it's mostly been on games either for testing, like Hogwarts Legacy. I tested it in that, and it actually ran really well. Or a game that I want to play because I'm playing it with a friend, but it's just not optimized well, and that would be Remnant 2. So like Remnant 2 on my 4090, back before the 5090 came out, I did run frame generation on that, just regular frame generation, not multi-frame. And it was a good implementation of it. Frame generation ran very well on that game, but I was really upset that I had to run frame generation because the game wasn't optimized well. So, but I hear you entirely. DLSS Ray Reconstruction 4.5 will be here in August. I would imagine it will replace D or E, or maybe a new one, F. Maybe. Yeah, well, let's see what happens. August is right around the corner, man. If my EVGA RTX 3070 Ti for the win Ultra Gaming had 16 gigabytes, someone modded one, I'd still be using it instead of it transcoding in my Jellyfin server. Nice. Yeah, I've seen some people do some mods on GPUs and add in more VRAM. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, but you have to solder for that, right? And I don't have any soldering capabilities at all. Like I cannot solder to save my life. So that's very interesting. Yeah, I definitely should have ran wore a blue shirt tonight. Oh man. Guys, look. Around the 3-hour marker I was gonna call it, and here we are at almost 3.5 hours. You guys started donating, and I'm like, I can't log off, and I just started talking more, but my voice is starting to go out. I need to get more water, my lower back, all the things. I think I'm gonna go get in some PJs, tell my wife good night, and maybe watch that Z-Worms video and start planning the next set of content. Not only do you have to solder, you have to make some BIOS changes to those modded GPUs. At least I think. Gotcha. Yeah, that's a lot. I have white surface soldering skills. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't have any. I can't do it. I can write you a line of code and program it for you, but I can't solder it. All right. W stream, go get some rest and relax. Thank you, man, so much. I appreciate it. You guys are incredible. You're awesome. Stay tuned for all the upcoming content in general, but especially the Intel related content, because this is all part of it, right? And you guys are a part of it, right? You tell me what you want to see, and I do my best to make it happen. We do these tests in real time. And I got a lot more coming. I'm super excited to like customize the stream, make it more interactive and do stuff. So there's going to be more streams. There's going to be more content. There will be a new channel at some point with E-Rock on Gaming, if you guys will be interested in that as well. And then maybe there'll be some bleed over there. Okay. But I'm going to say good night later, brother. Now go and get some sleep. And, definitely. And, I'm going to say good night. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you for all the support tonight. Truly, truly thank you. It means so much. You guys have a good night.